Hey, what's up, guys? So today we're gonna have a little bit of fun because I had some ideas last night that I need to address, and looks like these guys are having fun out there. Again, Zach with this watching on the stream. It's so interesting to me that he watches it. I don't know how you can get work done. I don't know. You guys may probably out there you watch it while you work. Let me go to my screen here. So, last night I had some ideas for a way to make our life a whole lot easier when it comes to actually standing up this technology. So we've got this little site we're working on here, little dashboard thing, and we got the earning page done. And this is the earning page yesterday. And we have the redeem points page done, which could be a lot better. I'm going to say this every time I look at it. It just doesn't look great to me, but we can make it better. Don't have to worry about that now. It's done, right? We have a dashboard here. And what I was thinking through was doing the settings page today, which we're going to do. But something came up. I was thinking about this whole thing with the three ways we have to earn here. That we have this extension that you're going to install from the Chrome store, or the Twitch account that you need to link, and the Discord account you need to link. Now, the extension, I don't really know a good way around this. You're going to probably have to log into it unless we can do something with like, oh, we detected you're logged in here and you have a cookie for logging in here, so we can pass that to the extension. The Twitch and the Discord thing, the plan was to do OAuth to generate the connection here. So if I need to do a Twitch OAuth, you'd click this button. It just went to a random thing. You click that button and it would kind of pop that little window open somewhere, or either like a new window or something like that. And it would then say, okay, what Twitch account do you want to use? Do you authorize OmatumBucks to have access to, I don't know what the basic grant is, the email or something like that, your username and your email. And that way we could create a strong link between your username and your email, right? Makes sense? Like, that's a way to verify. Well, I had this kind of, I don't know if it was a great moment. I don't know what to describe it as. I don't know if it was like a good decision or a bad decision, but I had a simpler way to do this. And what I came up with was, open up a notepad. Let's say you're trying to auth Twitch, right? So the problem is I need to authorize / verify my Twitch account. You could do it with OAuth. Now, if we do it with OAuth, we'll need a lot of stuff to get hooked up. We'll need to hook things up, though. We need a Twitch API key. We need redirect pages. We need to consume that auth. We need to save your access token, request refresh tokens, right? There's a lot of things that you have to do there. And there's libraries for Rails that make that easier. There's definitely like a lot of OAuth, what do you call it? I think there's just a gem called like OAuth 2 or something like that. And that will do most of this stuff. You still have to make space for the database, or make space in the database. But it's just a lot of extra work compared to this other solution I came up with. And I think this works even better. What I think makes sense is when you sign up for an account here, we'll generate a series of UUIDs, and UUID is the wrong word, a series of unique tokens, because it's probably not going to be a UUID. It could just be like a alpha 8 or something. It's fairly unique, or an alpha 12 or something, or just gobbledygook 12 or whatever, it doesn't matter. Alpha 8 is easy because it'll be URL safe and all that stuff. So we can easily consume it. We don't have to worry about, oh, there might be like a /% sign in there because it's going over a request. So we generate this series of unique tokens. Okay, so we could just sort of say, what would that look like? One token for Twitch, like something like that. One token for Discord, like that. And then to link your account, simply type OMBC link with your code on Twitch in our channel or Discord in any channel. And what'll happen is the bot that's sitting in that channel is now going to be able to say, okay, there's a user that just submitted that message. And let me type something into chat because I'm curious if I inspect this, is there richer data inside this than just my name? No, it doesn't look like it. So if you change your username, this might jack up things, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. There might be some way through the API to request. I don't know if Twitch has a unique ID for everybody. They might. That's a question mark. But anyways, you would just type it in and the bot would consume that. It would see that there's somebody that just did OMBC link, which actually looks like OMB clink. That's better. And then just see the codes there. And then the bot would respond like account linked like that. And maybe the bot could delete your message. But we'll that at that point would consume that token. You'd have to request another one if you wanted to change it. So if you're like, okay, I changed for some reason this link is broken now because I changed my username. Okay, then just request another token from the settings and then relink it. And you could maybe even do delinking, which makes sense to me. So this is such an easier approach, right, than doing the OAuth approach. And obviously this is the same thing. Lets us do other stuff now, like these links or the tokens could be used to attach to other services without the need for much cross chatter between apps. So we have the one token for Twitch, another token for Discord, and I've got to figure this out, but my thought would be we'd have one token for general accounts. This would be hidden unless viewed, because this is sort of like your identity token, and this might actually be a UUID. Because we want to make sure this is the one that like you would use. Let's say you signed up for one of our apps. We could ask you like in the app, hey, what's your token? And then you can just connect your account, your OmatumBucks account in and start earning points for doing things like paying for your subscription, right? And we'd probably could use this again on the merch store to say like, okay, connect your account with this little code. And once it's connected, you spend, for every certain amount of money you spend on the store, we can give you points back for that, kind of like a loyalty program, little redemption program. I think that makes sense to me because like where this ends up working outside of that, and I have it in my notes. Yeah, so let me just add this stuff. So additional stuff we could do now. We can, the Twitch stuff, Discord stuff, that's really easy, right? And Hexfight, you said I can build a Twitch bot. Yeah, Twitch bot's on the plan. It's in the plan. So we're doing a Twitch bot and a Discord bot. That's definitely going to happen. And you know what's even more interesting about this is I wonder if for the extension even, like could we use this to attach the extension to a user? Probably, because I mean it's a UID. You could just guess UUIDs, but why in the world would you just guess and start giving another person points? It's sort of weird. Or we could even generate one that's just for the extension, but easy operations to do, right? Just unique. Anyways, there's some additional stuff we could do. We could easily link to apps and merch store. We could provide like this as a field when signing up for early access to award someone for signing up for early access, because OMBC is not really going to have an email system, but different products we might launch, we basically, when we say sign up for early access, what you are basically signing up for is a newsletter, and that newsletter is going to notify you like, hey, early access started, right? But down the road, it'll also be a way for us to promote that one product. OMBC is not going to be a promotion platform, but the products themselves will have marketing people that will want to talk to you guys. So when you sign up for early access, you can maybe plug in this code, or maybe there's like an early access code that we spin up too. We could say that early access, and that's like a 4-digit code. And when that thing, that one doesn't get consumed, like isn't consumed, consumed, and your general account one, not consumed. It's just a way for our system to say like, okay, you're this person, you proved it with this code. I'm trying to see if there's anything else in the notes to get in here. Not really. I do have a question mark on if we should use Google Auth to do this or not. Google Auth is not the worst thing in the world, but I don't want to kick somebody that doesn't have it. We get nothing out of it. We don't get anything out of you guys using the button that says sign in with Google. It's just a little convenience feature. That's all it is. I would prefer that to be email and password, because it's the only thing you have to do when you do email password is like, you forgot your password, here's the reset link, that's all pretty much it. And the thing that gets a little more complicated with email is that you kind of have to have you have to require the user to verify an email when they log in. So you would break them out of the sequence a little bit if we needed to make sure that email existed, because there's recovery options and shit like that. I gotta stop swearing so much. Because there's recovery options, you kind of need to make sure the email is valid and that we could send a reset to it if you needed it. Whereas the Google sign up, not as bad. But Google sign up, just to play devil's advocate, you can quickly sign up like 10 things. You can sign up like every Google. I have so many Google accounts, man. Like, I'm not gonna hit that button to see them all, but I have probably 10 different Google accounts that I could use to sign up for various services, which is good for me, but I don't know if that's a big gain for anybody else. So I guess to start this off, I think we should go through and put this into the interface before we do the settings page, because we're going to move this thing from prototype to actual code pretty quickly. So we'll update this ways to earn page first. And we'll have to figure out what that means. So help us launch products. That's probably one of the things that we'll add it to. So you'll get 100 points. So we have this thing where it says activate a release account. So we can reward you through the whole thing. So activating an account is a little bit different than just signing up for early access. So let me put signing up for early access in here. We'll just get right into this because we made this so we could make it easier to edit. Might as well take advantage of that. Sign up for early access on a product. Boom. Now we got it in. I think that's a fair amount. Give you $1 for doing that. We don't really get any additional use the browser extension or help a user or anything like that stuff. We will get something for the store, and I think it makes sense to maybe put the store right at the top. Where's FlexiBoy? It's in here somewhere. There's FlexiBoy right there. Should put another X in there, make it a little spicy. Let me just put that right at the top, because I think that's the one where it makes the most sense to people. Like that's oh yeah, I get it now. I get what this does. So purchase items in the store. And just a little paragraph to say what that means. Whenever you make a purchase in the store, we will award points based on the purchase net amount minus shipping and handling. That's easy, right? So now we just here we'll say the action is make a purchase. The points here is going to be an amount, so we'll just say 10 points per $1 spent. $1 net. There we go. This is kind of a pain, the way that it's doing this thing. Or that's good old tables. Good old tables being tables. That's okay, though. So I guess that makes sense. Who told me to do this thing? Now that I look at this, I am not liking that anymore. Let me fix that real quick. I appreciate whoever told me to do that. I executed it. I should know better. Let's just get this out. It always seems like a good idea until you see it, and then you're like, not as good of an idea, you know? Sure. So the other things we're gonna have to update for this, just we'll get the bulk of it happens inside of the settings panel, but the other piece is gonna be this guy, which is the linking. So now we get to actually generate some of these codes. I'm gonna just, for the purposes of the prototype, I'm gonna generate these codes just so we can use them. Just in a little Jets code there. Well, let's use the new boy here. Const equals tokens, or const tokens equals, make a little object, and then we'll need we'll just say Twitch, doop, Discord, doop. What other ones do we have? We have Twitch, Discord. We could have an early access one. And then we could have a product, or like a whatever account wide. I don't know what that means, but that's the gist. Let me look up how to make these things in JavaScript. Alpha 8 UID. Oh, this is gonna be a whole thing, isn't it? This is gonna be a whole thing we gotta make. Yes, that's not what we want. That looks about right. That looks pretty good. So it's going to say, do we need to splice the use character to possible after you've used it? Oh, why do we have to do these things? Just return the thing. Just let me ask for this and then do what I want. We'll modify it. Boop. Okay, it looks about right to me. And then, so we would say for Twitch, you'd say ID generate. And then these will all be 8s. So we'll do this. So I think that's 8 characters right there. I equals 0, I to 7, text plus equals possible, car at, possible length. Who knows? I mean, this might work. I'm questionable. Return text. And then let's just give her get a little save on that, and we'll just jump the console and see what the hell it set that to. Unexpected token, comma. Oh, let me just fill these. Filler. We could just do this like this. We expect this to work, so. And then the account, we'll just fill in later. Okay, so now let's ask it for those tokens. Oh, totally did the thing. That's exactly what we're looking for. Just a little UUID, or not UUID, but a little random chunk there. This is just for the prototype, mind you. These will be in the database later. And then you just take this thing and spend it on whatever, or just link it up anywhere else. Now, the chance of collision on something like this might be a little bit higher than if we did a little bit of a longer thing. So I'm going to just bump that up to 11. 11 is the end of the range, so we'll get 12. Boom. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, that's easy to copy and paste, right? So again, all you would do is if I were using my Discord key, if I was using my Twitch key, I would go here and then I would come into Twitch and I would say OMBC link blip like that, and then the bot would be like linked, and then and then it would delete that message. I think. I don't know what the easy way to delete messages is. I can't like click to delete, but I don't know. I bet a moderator can delete that one message or not. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But it would that way, I mean, once this thing happened, the key would get turned off. So in our database, we would see that, we would make the link, then it would be like, rap, and then that thing would delete. So somebody couldn't link twice, basically. All right, now we need a UUID because I want this stronger one for the other guy, for things that we're going to send it around. Jeez Louise. Do we really need a node tool for this? Just give me, yeah, come on, guy. Go get this package that's probably not going to exist forever. This is the kind of stuff that used to get people booted off of Stack Overflow. And I don't know why they're allowing this stuff now. Like, they used to be, if you put a thing on Stack Overflow that was just like not a solution, it was pointing to another solution, they would just be like, nope, that's not what this site's for. This site is to sort of keep things in place forever. Interesting. So as of this year, apparently they're going to slap UUID into the JavaScript spec, which makes sense to me. So I wonder what this is, the difference here between these two. Is that just smarter code? I don't get it. I don't get it. That's easier to read for sure. But this is crazy. New int 8 array. Which one do we want to use here? I feel like this one. It has the word crypto. Using arrow functions. Let's use that one. Blip. Thank you, Stack Overflow people that give away your time for free. All right, so that's going to be a UUID v4. Boop. And that should do it. Let's check the console. Take a look at those tokens. Looks good to me. Yep, that's what we're looking for. That's exactly what we're looking for. Now, keep in mind, when we generate these in the database, you do have to do some stuff to guarantee uniqueness on this, and you don't need to. One thing you can do is you could say, well, make sure that this is a unique value. But in the database, you're going to probably not want to do that. You're going to want to do it some other way. You're going to want to do it in your interface to the database, because if you make them all unique in the database and you start nulling these things out, but to say that they're empty, right, then you got a problem. So we will just enforce uniqueness through a while loop to check the database and say, hey, does that exist? If it does, generate a new one. That way nobody ever gets the same one. But that'll come up next week. Crypto is a module, though. Hey, Maslow. I don't know. This is a weird, I've never seen that before. Does that map something? Crypto is not a module. It's like some, I have no idea. I have no clue. I don't know. JavaScript's getting weird. Can we just all agree JavaScript's getting weird, please? Because it is getting super weird. We are venturing into, like, why is there, I mean, you could be like, somebody's gonna be like, oh, it's there because it does this thing. Why are we doing this though? This is, like, what does this thing do? A carrot? Does it map C to this thing or something? I have no idea. You're confusing with bcrypt is a module, right? Bcrypt is, and it would look different. If it were a module, this would highlight a little bit differently. Isn't Azure? Hello, friend. Hello, friend. I don't know. What does that thing do? Let's look it up really quick. JavaScript, carrot. Okay, what does this do? Yeah, what does it do? Thank you. You're right. It is Azure. The caret operator is the bitwise XOR operator to square a value. I still don't know what it does. This is just generating randomness. Yeah, it's just like squaring this and then dividing by 4 here to do something. I don't know, man. This is crazy town. That's just a weird thing. It's kind of nice though, because like, couldn't you, if you wanted a 32, you could just do that. So interesting. Azure is either a value or the other. I don't know what that means. So it's saying like pick one of these two. Either pick this or this. Oh, it's so weird. Hello, friend. You are way above my head right now, dude. I'm glad you know about this stuff, but I just copy and paste stuff off Stack Overflow till it works. That's not true. It's mostly true. Okay, so now that we've got that in, we need to display that. So the one place we have to display that is here. So we would still be able to know if your Twitch was linked or not, okay? But if we want to be fancy pants, what we would do here is we'd connect a WebSocket, and when you connected your thing, it would do something here, but we're not going to be fancy pants. We are just going to say, here's your code to link Twitch. We could have it so when you click this, it's going to go to our Twitch page, which would, I think, to be fine. And we'll just do little instructions here to say this is what you have to do. So let me open this up. Okay, so the same message makes sense here. The href, now we actually know where this is going to go, right? So it's going to go to hitips twitch dot twitch, there we go, TV/OmatumGreg. And then, yeah, link Twitch still makes sense as a thing. Now that I'm in here, I'm going to correct these buttons a little bit, but just see this first. Link Twitch. Okay, now we need some instructions. So flash instructions. Okay. I'm going to put these inside of a ULLI, or do we want an OL so we can throw some numbering on there. So it'd maybe be first step, copy this code copy this command to your browser, to your clipboard, and we can add a little thing to this to make it so it copies. But what we'll do is we'll make that the next item. Let's make these LIs instead. So LI, and then in here will be the this thing. Well, let me just ID this. It'll say code. We'll give it a data instead. Data code equals, or token will equal Twitch. That way, when this gets done doing its thing, it'll go through and we can start replacing these. Although I think this is gonna be sort of a thing to figure out how to get these codes to replace in the prototype, but that's not a big deal. Okay, so that's going to replace the code with the Twitch code. And we're going to need the word link or whatever, OMBC link in there, plus that. So we'll leave that like that. And then we'll have this append to it. And then another LI, paste this into the chat room for Omatum Greg. Once you see a success message, reload this page to verify the connection. Reload this page, and if this message is gone, you're linked up. Okay, save that. This looks just straight horrible. Paste this in the chat room for Omatum Greg. You can use the link below to visit the page. You're trying to build it in Angular. Angular is not my favorite, man. I'm not a fan. Is there a reason you're using Angular, or is it just to teach yourself it? Okay, let me make sure I can get this code here first, and then we'll go back and start styling it. So in the dashboard, we have these nav items, right? And this is data loads, flash text, whatever. We're just going to add a callback to this. That will be a callback saying like set tokens. So we know that page is going to have some tokens that need to be set. And once it's loaded, we'll set these tokens. And we could tell it to do that with a certain set of data, but we don't need that. So we'll have a function here that says set tokens, which will get run because we just told it to get run there. It's going to go and hit the page and say, let's see, how do we want to do that? Okay, let me think. Let me just save that. So we'll just say for each of these, do a command. Let's try that. So for token, oh geez, for let token of tokens. I'm learning new syntax lately. I think that's right. Target a thing that's asking for a token. Data code, that's stupid. Let's see, data token. Okay, so target a thing that's asking for a token, or it's clearly a token, where it equals, the token value equals the thing right above. Oh boy, we're into just fun times now. Can you use template literals right there? I wonder if you can. Oh boy, actually, hold on a second. We need the key value. So how do I get the key value out of that? Hey, Lakuli? That's the name. Let me do a console here. I'm just gonna see how in the world I get that key value out. Okay, so if I do that, if I say for let token of tokens, yeah, don't do that. Tokens is not iterable. Why wouldn't it be iterable? Huh. Really? Why isn't it iterable? Iterable. That's Funky Town all day. What? Well, if you aren't iterable, I don't need your crap consts. I don't need to do it that way. For var I, or we'll say let I equals 0, I is greater than tokens.length. Oh, is that even gotta have length though? It's an object. Son of a b. Let me try an in. Let token in tokens. Console log token. Okay, that got me the key. And then if I want the if I want to get the value, I think it's like that. Boop. Okay, good. Because it's an object. Dude, it's so weird though. It's so weird. It seems like that works. That foreign. It's weird. I started doing the of in something else. So the of works for arrays and the in works for objects. That's good to know. So let's do that. For let token in tokens, give me target the token with that key. And then I don't remember how to do this. It's like, I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to try it just to say we want a text append. I just don't know if that's the way to do this in here. Again, this is prototype code. So if it works, cool. If it doesn't, not a big deal. Yeah, that worked. Okay. We're going to have to put a space after the command. Boop. It looks like crap, but there it is right there. You don't want to really be using in Mamba. I want to use the stuff that works, buddy. There's no reason not to do this. There's none. In a prototype, you're just trying to get stuff working. Don't, just because you saw some Twitter post that said foreign is stupid doesn't mean we should unwire it there. We probably don't want to do is like jQuery each. That would be less advantageous. All right, so we have that one there. Let's make sure we can get the other one. And also, I'm going to make it so this triggers when the page loads. So I can keep looking at that. So this is flash test. There we go. Okay, let's add the next one. And then we'll style up the instructions a little bit. Okay, so this is going to be the Discord token. Same thing, copy this command to your clipboard, paste this into the Discord channel. I don't know. We might need to make another one. So I don't know where we'd stick that, to be honest. Let's just say we have one. We could just say paste this into any Discord channel. You can visit the link below to sign up our Discord. Same exact instructions there. So we'll take this and link it to our Discord. Is this pure JS, HTML, CSS? No, it's HTML. Kind of. I mean, it's not on a backend tech yet. It's HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. We're mixing in jQuery to do little stuff a little bit quicker. Okay, cool. So we have link Twitch and link Discord. We have this garbage looking thing here. We might want to change that command because it looks stupid, but that's fine. Now let's change these links a little bit. I don't think we want to say link Discord. It'd be like visit Discord, I guess. And then visit Twitch. Okay, and let me just change that CSS there. How do we set this up where it's so weird looking? We did something here. It's the width. So let's just change the height and set that to like 20. It's a little too tiny. 40. That's a little better. Okay. So look, it's like a weird looking button. This is a weird boy. I might just do some extra something on the other side of it. I don't know. We'll just leave it alone. It's fine. Nobody's going to see it. Just you guys. Any Omatum Discord channel. Thank you. That makes more sense. Any. Would even sounding better. Paste this into any Discord channel on the Omatum Discord. Good point though, Nick. Nick, you're the best at QA, man. You're my favorite QA person because you're like, the users are stupid. They will paste it into like their anime fan club Discord and be like, why isn't it working? You're gonna get the QA of the century award from me if you keep this up. Okay, so we have our Flash stuff here, and there's our links start there. So let's do our instructions here. So inside the instructions, we have a UL and an LI. We don't have anything inside the UL. And really the Flash instructions could have just been the UL, but whatever, we're adding more divs than we need. I got divitis. Let's pad this whole thing in by quite a bit, and let's margin bottom the whole thing. Just to spread it out. That's a little bit better. These are huge Flash messages, but whatever. Let's take this thing and give it a little background color. Just a nice dark background, Rigbo. There we go. A little bit darker. There we go. Okay. Now, for all these things in here, I think I want to change this over to sort of like a monospace font since we already have Anonymous Pro in here. Might as well use it. Ooh, that does not look very good. Okay. Font weight. Let's bold it up. Give me the bold. And the letter spacing's got to come in a little bit. Not that much, though. Not that much. A little less than that. Okay. UL. Let's get some line height. Just to set it globally. And then we'll take these items and let's give them... We should have given the line height to the items. line height of 30 pixels. I am really just, that font is just not doing it for me. In terms of like fonts that look good, that's not one of them. That look good is like body copy. This is not one of them. And since we've got stuff going to 2 lines and stuff, maybe it's just the wrong font size. That's too tiny now. Okay, yeah. Let's get rid of line height here, and then we'll do this another way. It'll collapse all the margins together. Just give them a little spacing. I'm going to get rid of that font, though. I liked it, but now I don't like it. Copy this command. We'll maybe do it for the command or something. So if the li has a data token, let's override some stuff. Let's say, what if we, let's not even use our fancy pants one. We'll just use the regular monospace. Let's pad it by 5 pixels. We'll push it in a little bit, maybe 10. And then let's do a background color of Rigba white-ish. And then if they click that, we should be able to copy that. I wonder, can we say inline block on a li to, oh, we totally can. Look at that. That shouldn't be a thing you should be able to do. So you can select it, or what we'll do is we'll add this little thing, this little class to it, which will tell it it's copyable. And the code for this works, but I'm going to have to build the little piece of it. So that code, I don't know if you can see that. Boom. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Google. Popular Google Doodle games. That's not what I wanted. But I clicked it and boom, now it's copied. So we can definitely add the little bit of stuff to that. So let me find the other place that we use this. There we go. It's right here. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Big messy boy here. I'll move this li up. So now we know we're just talking to this data token. And because we're adding so many things to this, we're going to nest it so it's a little bit less selector hell here. Boop. And then take all this. Boop. And then take that and put that here. Bibbity bobbity. We got it working. So now we have to replace all the references for div with the ampersand. You know, the ampersand was going to be like the 27th letter of the alphabet. So you take that. And then it should have worked, but it didn't. So we probably are missing something here, probably a relative position. And that's going to tell it like where to draw in. There you go. You got to click the copy. Boop. Copied. Boop. 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 You're copying stuff. We could make that font just a little bit bigger for this one. Let's just do 12. Boop. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Your big boy is all grown up now. I'm going to do something else to this as well. I'm going to do a text align of center to that. There we go. Even better. Even big boy better. Cool. That's a nice little feature for sure. And does it work down here? Yep, it works down there. And sure, you could like manually like this still. We're not going to disable the selection. So you could still manually copy it if you don't trust that. These commands here, I would like to add numbering to them, but I think the easier way to add numbering is to stick it in directly. Cursor pointer, we could Mislo, but we just, it's got the hover there. So we could, I want to leave it so we keep that cursor. I want to keep this text select cursor if they want to use it. Because I'm not sure that method we use to do the copyable, I'm not sure if that's going to work on every browser. I know in the past I've had problems with that. So let me add the numbers. 1, 2, 3, and let's just see if that looks okay. Yeah, it looks fine. We don't need to do any OLs or anything, you know, add the bulleting back in or anything. 1, 2, 3. Bingo, bingo. Maybe do a little bit bigger on that font. Just gonna go a little tiny bit bigger. What did we set it to? Did we even set the font size? We didn't. That's too tiny, Greg. About 15. Oh, just that font weight. I'm gonna use Anonymous Pro again because maybe it'll get better looking as we make it bigger. Yeah, it gets a little bit better looking as we made it bigger. Okay. Boop. Boop. I'm gonna put some border around that too. Just a little dashed. Probably do like a lighter white thing. Oh, you know what might look cool is like just like a yellow. It's a lot of colors going on right now, so maybe that wasn't the best idea. Try a little half white. There we go. Boop. I'm gonna put a little more padding on it. I think I want more padding. The top bottom is okay, so we'll just do padding 10, 20. Yeah, a little better. Cool. So I don't want to use the pointer cursor because I think the pointer cursors like make sense for this stuff. I tend to do pointers for other things. And did I do that over here? Like where you can, I did. So you guys want me to keep it consistent with that, I'm guessing. Well, need to stay consistent, so let's just cursor pointer it. I always fight myself on this damn cursor pointer, whatever the UX of it is. So let's see, I copy and paste, boop. Okay, yeah, easy peasy. All right, I think we're good with this part. What do we have? The dashboard's fine. The point redemption's fine. The ways to earn is fine. We just have the settings. So the question I always come to when I do settings is, should I do them as a modal? And the answer is always, don't do them as a modal, you idiot. So I'm just going to make a settings page here. Less work to make your own, like a separate view for that. And we are just in the territory of less work right now. So let me kill this. Let me make a page over here for settings. Oh, really? Really, Sublime? Settings.hitable. Let's put something in here for that. So this is going to start with panel. I'm settings. And then we're going to have it, make sure it goes to that. So we have a, data load settings. There we go. It's right there. Nice fresh canvas of HTML here to destroy. to implement all the bad practices. This is just like a very messy build so far. Panel. I'm just trying to see how I'm doing this in other pages. Well, apparently there's no rule. As long as there's a panel, just get to work. And then we're going to change this so it auto loads in the other one now. This is like, what I like about doing this style is like, this is prototype code for sure, but your users wouldn't really know it. And you basically have built yourself out like, the bare bones single page application here. Now, if I were doing this as an SPA, the thing I would change is I would not be importing this stuff in. These layers would always be there, but we would just be turning them on or turning them off, which we could change this to do that. because then you don't have to do any requests. So you just front load everything. People think it's crazy, but it works. But the nice thing about doing it like the way we're doing it right here is that we can like very legitimately separate the code, so you don't have that problem of like, oh, it's just one giant HTML file, which unless we start implementing some sort of server-side rendering, could be through PHP or whatever, you would have this problem that all this would just be just like one giant jumbly file. Because the way to make it easy mode is you just use like an include, and that include would point to this. But when dashboard.html renders, it's going to go include all these other files. But as far as I know, does HTML have an include? I don't think so. F me, does it? No way. If it has this without JavaScript, I'm going to be blown away. What the fuck is SSI? And is this a thing though? No, PHP includes. Okay. Server side includes. Yeah, that's not a thing though. Remember when HTML had a server side renderer? Oh, it would be good. It would make a lot of sense, but I don't know how they'd handle it because they do have things that they're not really includes, right? Like when you link a script at the top of your page, you're not really including it, right? You're referencing into it. But for all practical purposes, I imagine this is the same as including. Like, same with this. You're just including this external file. So I don't know. Why wouldn't that's a question. Why don't you have the ability to write include in HTML and have it render? And have it like inject it. Just like go fetch it, inject it. It knows not to move forward in the block until it grabs that file. I don't know. That seems like something they should be doing. Because then you would, dude, if you could do that, you would knock out like half the reason that people turn on PHP servers. Maybe that's why. Maybe the PHP lobby is really strong and they don't want that to happen. Okay. So I don't have anything for my settings page figured out. Let me, I did send myself this email last night that had, I think, the fields in it. Okay. So the ones I had figured out were like your show the person's email and change the email. And if we don't do an OAuth scheme, change the password. I feel like we could just put this into one mega form because there's not that much. We could show the link codes. Those are the things that we're going to use to connect these people to various services, and maybe have the ability to roll or re-request linked codes. So it's very important, in my opinion, if you're issuing UUIDs that are basically like API keys, that you have the ability to say, oh shit, I think I let that thing out, and you hit the little button and it refreshes. Very important. Yeah, it doesn't mean you would delink everything that's out there. It's just future links would have to use a different code. Because in the practical purposes in the database, this just is like the person's little line for them. It's going to have a little thing that says Twitch code, Discord code. We're just doing a simple link like that to figure it out. So if we have the settings panel, why don't we have a panel group? And then for each one of these things, we should probably figure out some input patterns. For the email and change email. So this would just be a display, but maybe you could type into it to change it. And the password, you always need 2 for that. And then what we could do is just inline all the buttons. That's how we do this. So panel group, we'll have an input group inside the panel group. That way we can kind of group these together. The input group title, email, change email or something. And then div current email, input type email, sure. And then a div new, well, you could just say that, and that's how they could change it. And then a div commit button change or update. Update's a better That's a better word because we can use it over and over again. You'll notice I'm not using buttons or anything like that because screw it. So we don't need it. Easier ways to do it. We're going to be sending this through Vue or whatever anyway, so I'll figure that out. Okay, and we'll put a little value in here because this is going to be preset. So we'll set this to just a long Greg's awesome email at awesometime.chat. Sure. So that way we know to make this a little bit bigger for that, right? So we'll have to draw that button in, but let's give this a little separation. Let's make the second input group, which is going to be change password. And this will have a little bit of a different approach. Now we don't really need these current, why did I class that like that? That didn't really make sense. Input, yeah, we just do that, class of input. I'm doing these classes around the input container, so I have something to talk to if I need to. I have an immediate container to talk to that's not this thing. So I can block this out and do stuff with it. Okay, so for this we need a type of text, or is it type of password, right? And then boop, that's what we want. We could do something there to show the person the password, but I don't like that crap. I think that's a dangerous pattern. I've used it in apps before, and now that I'm getting a little bit older, I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that. We'll do a little span next to it to say current password. Boop. And then we'll put another span saying next password, but we're going to block it out to the next input. Because that way, if we have an error message on this input, we can push it up to this thing. I hate this pattern. I really do. I hate it so much, but we're doing it. And let me see. Yeah, it's fine. Okay. Next one is, what do we got? The links. So we'll show your current links and then let you delink. I mean, is that a thing you should let people do? So this isn't really an input group. This is going to be a group of account links. And I almost feel like it's a table. Almost. Let's think. What would be in that? So a link status. So for each service, you'd have a status of if it's linked or not. But this could blow out to more things. Let me just put a title on this. Linked accounts. Oop. And are we going to do a table? Should we do a table? I mean, a table makes it a little bit easier. Let's do it. Links table. And then we'll do a row or something. We don't need to do cells yet. Let me just start with like 4 and see if that's too many. So the first thing I think would be the name of the service. So that would be like Discord or Twitch or something like that. The linked account would be the thing that actually identified you there. So it might be an email address. It might be your chat name. It would be whatever we know is unique over there. Could also have the ability to request a new code or something like that, or yeah, request or reset. So if some of these will have the ability to request and some will have the ability to reset. So once a code is consumed, you have to get a new one. So if the linked account has something in there, it's obviously a thing. Okay. Let's start with that and see if that's smart. Call that the header row. I should have made a universal table style. Man, now that I'm this far in. So let's just put a couple in here. You have Discord. And for me, that's like some weird, it's like this weird little thing with a 4-digit code. And then we could have a little thing in here where it's a relink or a reset data. Data token action equals reset. Which I don't know if that would, or request or something like that. I don't know how that would work exactly yet. And it'd be empty because we'll just fill that in with something. And when you get the new token, it will stick right there. That's where it gets a little funky. So maybe you have a request reset and then you have the token that you used. And for Discord, it will be consumed. So you'd have to request a new one. Now, let's say you haven't linked your Twitch yet. So it'll say you have a Twitch token available, but it's not linked. And if your name is not linked, fuck you. Sorry. Don't do it. If your name is that, I hate you so much. Somebody's gonna submit a bug report. I don't know what it says it's linked, but I don't have a token. And then the token here is gonna actually be your Twitch token. So we can actually tell it to give us that Twitch token that we generated already. Okay, and then let's do another one. So that's Twitch. Now we have the early access token. And this will just be, if it says it's linked, this might be a subtable. Like, so early access and the account access tokens, they may in fact be subtables. Because you have to think that you'd have you might have one master token, but since it doesn't get consumed, you're going to have to show all the things that it could be linked to. So how do you do that? Let me just see where this is at right now. Looks good. But that's my thought, is like you're going to have early access. It's going to have its own little group. So maybe that's its own table. And you say there's a big early access table. There's like these links for actual service accounts. And then you have a separate one for this other thing. For the early access, you have a separate one for the account. Because those tokens you can refresh them, but they don't change. They don't consume, rather. That's a little weird. Why does it say Twitch there? Or why does it not have the token? Oh, we didn't tell it to load one in. Let me do that. There we go. Okay. All right, so let's put another title in here and then say this is early access accounts. So that would be name, linked account. Yep, same thing. Token. The token that was used doesn't matter. It's just going to be the name and linked account here. And you're never going to really be able to unlink those, I don't think, because there'd be no reason to unlink them. It would just be saying that this has happened. There'd be no feasible freaking reason to unlink that. Okay, so we might have a couple things here for early access, like we have MAGA.io, and then maybe it's your email at whatever.com. And then for Twitch, nope. Let's just say the other one we have is Badger.io, and this is the same thing. Whatever at whatever.com. That's just, now it's independent, just saying that you've used it. Now, what's a little bit different about this one is we're going to need like the link code here, and that is probably going to be a micro table. Oh, geez. So you'll have your token, and well, I guess we wouldn't need to do that. You don't need to make that a micro table. Get out of here. Why don't we just have your token here? And then we'll do a little something. To reset it. And then give that the action of reset. So what that'll do is I'll give you a new one of these. So we should see that code here. I know this is all jumbled together, but we'll style it up. You see that jumbly code right there. We have this button though that we'll style in using CSS to style it in, to actually put the words there so it's easier to mess with. And then when you smack that button, request a new token, and it goes. Now we're not going to do that action in the prototype, but it's just to kind of give me some stuff to move forward with here. I probably could have prototyped this in Vue. That would have been a better choice, Greg. So that would be learn in Vue at the same time. Two birds. All right, and the final one we have here is your actual account token. Okay, so the account token, it's a lot more private. So we're going to say this is a links token, but then we're going to use this class of hidden, and then stick this inside of, I don't know what we call this, hide. So what we want to do, I don't know if there's a good way to do this. I want to basically stick this thing inside of a box where you don't see that. That's all obfuscated. I think I actually know the way to do it. It's like this tricky thing that makes sense once you actually pull it off. So can we do input password, right? You could do like let me try this really quick. Input. Is that how you do that? Nope. Okay, type password. Don't you just do this? You do like a value of blah, 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 and it will hide it, right? And then you can change that to a text and it pops it right back. Yep. Okay. So that's what you're toggling when you do that little thing. Okay. So now we have to pass that value into this. For the purposes of the prototype, without rewriting a bunch of code, I am just going to copy paste whatever the hell that thing was that we generated and stick it in there. There it is. I'm looking all over the place. Okay, but do that and then get rid of that thing there. So it's hidden. When you click that, we'll come up with something really quick to do this, just so we can show the interaction. We'll call it data hideable. And that way we'll find something like that. And if it's hideable, we maybe put it up here. And then that will set some stuff here to let us put a button here. That's just going to have a little eyeball or something in this, or it'll just make it easy for this. We'll say view. All right, put nothing in there. If it has this, we're good. If it has this class, this will say view. And if it doesn't have this class, it'll say hide or something. We could get fancy pants, put an icon in for that, but we're not going to. All right, yeah, that looks pretty close, huh? Just ship it out just like this. All right, let's start styling top to bottom. Real good use of that stuff, Greg. All right. So we have a settings panel. Could you imagine if I wrote all my CSS on multiple lines? I'm at 430 using skis. Oh boy. Guys, a lot. That's a spicy amount of code there. So then we have panel title. Boop. There's your settings. For some reason, I set this font stuff all to be this lighter color. I'm going to go all white now. Yeah, it looks a little better. Okie dokie. Let's do first group, which is going to be panel group. Did I make multiple panel groups? Or did I just make one big one? Good job. Great. So just one big giant group of stuff there. Yeah. I had plans. I had plans for this class and I did not follow through. That's okay. Just move forward. Input group. We could probably still do the plans I have. We're just gonna have to target in a little bit differently. Let me see. There's a accounts group. Yeah. Let me target in really quick and do that. So we need a direct child selector. That's not it, is it? Let's try border bottom will tell us if that's it. Maybe. Yeah. Okay. That's really all I want to do is put a little border on the between these things. So let's do less of that ugly red and more of this very slick half white. FYI, the idiots, I use this term sparingly, the dummies over at W3 are considering changing the way you write this code right here. Get ready for it. It's stupid. They're going to make it so the new way you write this is like this. It might actually work, so we're going to try it. Yeah, so it doesn't work. My processor doesn't know how to process that. But that's the way you're going to write stuff later. Get used to it. They claim that the wide gamut colors don't work with commas. It's the weird, I do not understand it. It just doesn't make sense. Just get ready for it. Because I've seen the tweets. It's on the horizon. There's going to be new things like color. Like you're going to be able to write color here and do stuff. Does nothing. I wonder if you do color like that right now, what does it do? Oh, and I think the way you do it is even weirder. Like it's like a slash like that, divided by 25% of that color. I'm not looking forward to it. It's going to suck. Keep learning new shit every year. All right. So let's get this little settings group done. For input groups, we could probably logically throw some padding around this, 25 pixels or so. Kind of move it in. Give it a little bit more. I'm being a generous god today. I'll be giving you that extra padding. So we have an input group title. Have we tried uppercasing that font yet? Is that how you do that? That is not how you do that, Greg. Text transform. Oh, it's so gross. Don't do that. Don't uppercase enter. Bad. All right. So we want to differentiate that as a title just a little bit. Let's start with some margin bottom to push it. See what we get from there. Change the email, change the password, the word settings. Everything just looks so weird to me. This is why we do design runs in Illustrator. Well, make the font a little bit smaller. That looks a little better. Okay. Well, what color could we make that? That's fun. That's like a fun color. Let's use that. Especially with that blue we have in the background, that little kind of subtle blue. Okay, let's get the buttons in next, because I think the inputs are never fun. Gonna need some space to build this out a little bit. Say a display of inline block. Let's oh, I hate it so much. I hate that font just does not look good for a button. Do some padding. Let's do 5 by 15. See how that looks. We're going to need margin on this, but I'm going to margin up. I'm going to tell the button to ask for space above it instead of margining down from the input groups. Okay, let's give it a little bit of background color. Go one of two ways here. We need to come down from white. Those look grayed out though. Give it a little more padding. And a little more of that. There we go. People are going to want me to use border radius. So on it goes 3 pixels of border radius. There you go. Now it's a button. It was like a good update button color. Green? Greenish? I mean, it could be gray unless it's valid, right? I feel like changing your email is not something we should let people do. That's one of those, like, we need to send you the confirmation, you idiot. Like, why are you doing this? Kind of buttons, but... Blue? You want to try blue? Okay. Yeah, we can try that. I used to have an action blue color. What project used action blue? Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to jump into my GitHub. So many GitHubs. So many GitHubs. How many GitHubs? Got like 200 repositories. 24 here. Goodbye. It's somewhere in here. Is it the static? It'd probably be in the static. Colors. There we go. Oh boy. These are all our brand colors. There's way too many of these. There's so many. Oh god. Let's just grab these little fellas right here. Oh, it's too blue. Isn't that just like too blue? Could use our other brand blue. Nope. There we go. That's a little better. Okay. So do that. Let's get the font size down on that thing just a little bit. It's like obnoxiously big for font size. That might be too much. Yeah, just dial it in. Let's put up the font weight a little bit. I'm gonna try 700. There. Ew. Ooh. Let's try 600. If only this was a real variable font that I could dial the weight in. So I could type in 531 if I wanted to. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Cursor pointer. Let's make it happy to see you. So when you hover it, we'll change that background color a little bit. Maybe now we can use the action color. I think that's what it was originally designed to do. Yeah, that's what we did that color for. Transition. 0.3 seconds. All ease in, out. And we could maybe change that color of the font just down to a transparent black. Oh, that's not good. Don't do that one. Make it darker than that. Oh, it's gross. That's really gross. Is it too much? What is it? Why is that so weird? As soon as I do that, I just hate it. I hate it so much. Maybe I just want to change that part. That's good enough. I mean, just the little highlight tells you can click it. Boop. We'll probably want to add a success flash. So we'll code one in. We don't need to use it, but we're going to code it in. We're going to put it in with the input. Or maybe, do we have input groups here? We don't. Where would we stick that? Maybe right after the commit button, you would have the status. Div dot post status. And we'll say email updated. Blah, blah. You could have these go out for success. So why don't we just say success versus failure or something like that. We could do one for success, one for failure. Now for something like this, there's not a verbose version of this, so maybe we should put it on the other one. So we would say like, if there was, what do you call it? Yeah, let's say password incorrect or something like that. So now we'll have two of these to talk to. So post statuses, they should probably come. Push off that button. Give it a little more than that. The only thing that's nice about using something like Bootstrap is you don't have to do any of this. If you, but I think this doesn't really take that much time. But they give you all those different things that are covered for. We'll go padding of, let's do 50 pixels. That's too many pixels. How about 20? And then we're going to do a border of 1 pixel solid, then the brand red. And then we'll take that background color. And we're going to change this based on whatever the hell thing we're going to do here. Background color, we'll do transparentize the red. Just want to get it dialed in first. Is this decimals or is it? Looks like it's decimals. Okay. Doesn't need to be that bright. Yeah, that works. If it says, we'll do some things here to get, say, like if it says failure, if it says success. Hey, what's up, Pretty Key? So let's change this now and say for failure, do this one. Boop. And for success, do the same thing, but now we're going to color it in a little bit differently. Cool. Say email updated or password incorrect. Cool. And now every time you go and you make a new request thing, we'll shift this. Or we'll just empty it out and remove that failure class. Because the post status, if it's empty, we want to be able to clear that. So if it doesn't have the status of failure, look, it's just empty. So what we do here is if it on failure, it gets padding, and on success, it gets padding. But without it, doesn't have either of those things. And the margin here, we'll just leave like that. And then we'll add it like to both of these. Now there's a reason I'm doing it like this, kind of weird. We could do this with a another class, but I think I could show you guys what this would look like, which is some quick JavaScript. Kind of give you the reasoning here. So let's say we have post status there. Give me a thing to talk to here, please. Where is the thing where I can copy this? Is that a thing? Can I add? Oh, there used to be a thing, right, where you could add a. I'll just add something to this. ID equals hook. Good enough. Just call it the ID of Huck. There's something I can talk to temporarily. And I go to my console and I say, hey, Huck, why don't you add the class of failure and then set your inner, or set your HTML is fine, to I broke stuff. Anyway, we should watch this animate in. It didn't. Dang it. Dang it. Why didn't that animate in? What if I remove the class? Oh, interact. Thank you, man. Thank you. I spelled it the wrong way. I keep doing that. My fingers. I gotta get my fingers back. Okay, so we should be able to just empty that out. And now we get a really easy, cheap animation. Not the best, but it does the thing. Oh, we had the padding set too, so we want the padding to 0. That's gonna actually help animate it. Yeah, just a little cheap. No Flyboy. I am not trying VS Code. I'm using Emmet here, and it's a Sublime text. I would rather just get my fingers better than have Microsoft's AI try to figure out what I'm trying to type all the time. I'm just, dude, I like editors. I don't like all the bells and whistles. Mm-hmm. That looks good. So now we got to get these inputs styled up. These ones are a little bit weird. I think we'll figure out what we're doing here. Because this is a little, these guys, they could probably stack up. It would look a little bit better. So let's start with the email input up there. And granted, all the inputs should kind of look the same. Except for maybe this one down here. That's way different. Oh, you guys can hardly see it. Yeah, but that one's going to be way different down there. Let's see, linked accounts. Where were we? So we have input type passwords and input type emails inside of a class called input. So the reason I'm sticking it inside of a class called input is just so I have something to talk to when I need it. But I don't think we're going to style that input class. We're just going to use it to walk in. Oh, come on. I don't know what it is about my fingers. I guess it's just going to take me a couple of weeks to get used to typing so much again. Interact, yes. What did I do prior to Omatum? Lots of stuff, man. I've been working for over 20 years now as a developer designer. I didn't get really good at design until I went to college. So I wouldn't even say I'm really good now. I can design now. But yeah, I've done tons of stuff. Like freelancer for a while. I've had a couple of creative agencies. I've freelanced for really big companies, and not just like, hey, I'm doing a website for the restaurant or something like that. I've done on-site work for app development and things like that. But I've done a lot of stuff, man. A lot of different things. I've probably worked for, over 100 companies at this point. But directly prior to Omatum, I worked as I was a SSE at a incubator. But that's a long time ago, man. It's like 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. I'm losing track of time. It's weird. It's my kid showing up. Phew. Time just travels a little bit differently in my head now. All right, we are going to try to get a handle on that ugly input thing, but these are never fun to style. So bear with it. We're just going to override it first to say, hey, give me the worst possible thing here. I'm really curious, like, why does input do that? What is the way you tell it not to do that? See how it's like cutting off and stuff? What I do know is I don't want to use that ugly font for all the inputs. So the one thing I do know is give me better fonts, please. Use the one that everything else on the page is using, you dummy. But yeah, what is that thing where it's just like it's asking for a width, but the width is not sufficient? I'm gonna have to look this stuff up, guys. Input auto width. We do not want this crap from 2013. I would just, for God's sake, there must be a new way to do this. If not, we can do other stuff. Fit content. Does this work yet? Oh, that's for grid. Let me see if there's some styles we can look at. That might be new. That's a lot of attributes. Okay. Is there one in here? I think it's something like this. It's like a basic length or a max that it's applying. But it applies it by default. Size of the what is that even size? Valid for email, password, tel, and text input. Specifies how much of the input is shown. Basically, it creates the same results as setting a CSS with property with a few specialities. The actual unit of the value depends on the input type. For password and text, it's number of characters, or M units, and pixels for others. So you could just set the width in CSS. Yeah, that's not. So there is no thing there. Now, from CSS perspective, we can just say be as wide as you need to be. Autocorrect. Oh boy. Nothing's jumping out. We don't need the methods. Yeah, let's see if there's any CSS that is just going to smash us with things. Look at all these pseudo classes. Oh boy. Look at them all. I'm just so surprised. This is like 2020. You got guys writing arrow functions in JavaScript. Like, what's up with this part? It seems silly, but I mean, what's going on with it? Now, I know there are some things we can do to kind of nullify it out. We could try that. But I would like to know, like, why can't this just automatically be bigger? So something we can do, perhaps using content editable divs instead of inputs, easier to style. Yes. Does content editable have any problem that we're going to run? Probably right there. Can you do a content editable password? Is there a way to do that? That's the only problem I think we're going to run into. Okay. Yes, that's what content editable is. Thank you. But is there any way to set that to say, hey, you're a password? That's the problem I have with it. And plus you do get some, well, it doesn't really matter. You get some validation in the front end, but who cares? Guess the most useless page. It just ranked so high. Go back. Let's just see if we can figure this out. So the thing I would be thinking here is to just knock out backgrounds. Like, so you say outline, none border, none background, transparent. And now you're just dealing with this. And now you can say something like width 100%. And now you just have to redefine this a little bit, because now you come in and do this. You have to like redraw it in a little bit. Oh, but it's going to screw you right here, isn't it? Because now you've got your stupid 100% width thing. Dang it. All right, that's not the way. Let's see if we can do better than that. Width 100% would work. For sure. That would be a solution. I'm just so confused. Like, why is it input type default length? Yeah, what is it? Oh my God. Why? All right, we can keep banging on this, or we could just make it 100% wide and just deal with it. I think we could write some JavaScript, I think, to resize this thing based on character count, but this is crazy town at this point. I'm just gonna hit that button that gets this thing done today. With 100%. Boop. Okay. Perfect. Look how good this is gonna look on your big ass monitor. Oh, I don't know. I can't let that be the thing. I can't. Maybe a max length or max width or something. Max width of, I don't know, 300 pixels. Is that going to be, it does not even enough for that thing. Damn it. It's just like the dumbest thing. Get bigger, box. So let's just see if Nick's got it. If you said, if this was a div, and we could just smack that out. We can leave all this crap here. So now we're going to, why Chrome, back the fuck up. Really? Get out of here. Get out of here with your trying to save passwords everywhere. Stop. I don't want that. Nobody wants that. And if you're using it, stop using it, because just like everything else they've ever done, Google's probably gonna shut that down someday. All right. Right? Right? Just take my passwords, Google. You deserve them. There we go. Okay, so that does that, but we'd still have to style around it. And you can see that it's like going way out here. Thanks, Messing. Let me take a look at this. My question is, though, what we need to be able to do is make it look like a password. I know how to use content editable, but I don't think there's a way to mask it. Not easily. Oh, Jesus. We'll see, though. I think somebody's gonna be like, you can do it. Oh, God. Just watch the first example. Dude, there was 19 examples there. Watch the first example. This is the first example. It does nothing. What are you telling me, though, first example? Damn it, Messing. Dang it. Anyways, I think we nailed into it. Mask it with a font size of 0.01. You could, yeah. So this is all stupid event listener crap. Oh, this guy developed a password font family. I mean, that's a better solution. Also crazy. Yeah, this is just stupid. Okay. Well, I guess we'll just set some widths to those things and just move on. Oh, no, I don't. Messing, I can do the auto expand stuff. That stuff's not hard for me. This is what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get the default input thing to not cut this stuff off. And I don't know if I'm missing some property to do that, but what I'm guessing is I need to, because I can pad, right? You can use padding to resize these things, but I think it's not basing the width based on the characters in there. And I know you can auto resize, like input auto resize. You could do that. There's like little plugins to do this stuff, but there's not like a thing to, actually pull this off any better. Overflow settings, it's still not going to resize, right? But yeah, I think you're in the ballpark, Sir Rackley. You're thinking in the right direction. There's nothing weird added. It's just that inputs come in with a lot of defaults. So if we pull this up, you're going to see all the default crap that this comes in with. This is just from the browser. There's also just stuff that on a low level inputs do. Like if you want to change the width of an input, you can do it through attributes that are specific to the input, like max length or something like that. Let's see if I can edit this. That's like a number of characters for it to get bigger by. So you're saying, okay, it's going to potentially take 100 characters. Maybe max. I think it's actually just length. Was it size? Come on. Okay, well, it just doesn't want to change now. But that's the idea, is like you set these things through those attributes. And that's how it gets its size. And so right now it's getting its size. I don't know. I'm missing something. Because I'm padding in left and right. Is it because of the pad? It could be. Let me see if I remove that. Well, now it can take the size. So let's just get rid of that. Is it the pad? Is it the pad that did it? Let me change this to something way bigger. No. That's just the size it decided it wanted to be. Because we told it to be a width 100% there. Boom, boom. Yeah, it's so weird. Oh, now the size should work. Yeah. So that's saying like make it big enough to hold 100 characters. Hey, John Will. No, we're trying to do like, I'll probably just use an auto scaler at this point because it's taking a little too much time. I'm just trying to make some input boxes that you don't have to size in manually like a dummy. So I don't want to use JavaScript for it though. I was hoping I had missed some sort of way to do it, because you can see like we make the input here. And if I remove the width and the max width and stuff like that, it just cuts down to this basic whatever computed size. It looks like I'll need something like this, which is gross, but that's okay. That's okay. A simple but pixel perfect recommended. Oh, look at this. He's recommending jQuery. You're damn right you do. Oh, so gross. Oh, so not the way I want to do this. And since we have passwords, we can't really do this span version. All right. Well, let me just do this the dummy way. Just set a manual width and just deal with it. We can at least make that thing probably look a little bit nicer, I guess. So if your email is longer than that, screw you. Get a shorter email. Border 4 pixels. You're used to this happening. Why am I doing borders on this thing? Let's pop the outline. Let's pop the border. Okay. And we could give it a little box shadow inside, but whatever. Let's make that look a little less like it does. Say background, color, whoa, boy. Rigba. Let's go with black and then dial it up. Okay, and then we'll make the text white. Okay. When we hover it, we'll give it a little bit of a, it's gonna brighten up. Too bright, way too bright. There we go, get a little transition. I think the ease in out isn't the right one there. We'll do an ease out. There we go. And then when you tack into it, oh, so stupid. Why would it redline that? Why do you think I need spell checking on an input type email? Just hold it together. False? Is it false? Is it off? What is it? Who knows? False? There we go. Sorry, it's a salty dev week. I feel like I'm fighting the internet this week. Okay, and so for focus, we'll do the same thing, so it'll hold. So you just click in and get that. The contrast is probably a little bit low. But probably fine. It looks about fine to my eyes. Okay, yeah, easy enough. I'm going to pop that post status right there out too, because we don't really need to keep looking at that. Change email. And now to change the password thing, we could just leave this alone. So your current password, you'll type that in, and then your new password, you'll type this in, and then you'll hit this update button. We can do it the same styles as that. I don't think there's, other than the width, I don't think there's a reason not to use those styles again. So let me just take this. We're going to say input period. And then for input email, then we'll give that the width. Then take the width off of this. Ooh, boy, that looks like shit. Okay. I don't really have a max length on these. Let me just, what do I got to do here? So for this input, why don't we say input flex it, and then we'll kind of get these blocked out a little bit better. Fix me flex daddy. Justify content space flex daddy. Oh, that's dumb. That's probably not a thing that we should be saying too much with. 50%. Fix me flex daddy. Sorry. I just have this picture in my mind. I'm not going to illustrate the picture, but you can imagine what that picture could be. Oh boy. Oh, biggity biggity. What did we do here? What have we done? Not a good thing. That's for sure. Margin bottom 5 pixels. Let's just give that. Oh boy. That's not. What happened? What happened to your friend, your curly friend? There we go. 10. Let me just say this one more time. This is why we don't skip the design run. Meaning the design run that we would have done in Illustrator that would have actually gotten us something that looked a little bit more cohesive than whatever the hell this is. What's weird is, like, do these... Yeah, they'll look fine. I guess when you stick it in there, it'll look fine. I guess this isn't the end of the world, but that's a little weird looking. Do we need the word password? Yeah, people are stupid. We need that word. Give it a little more space. What are you gonna do if I give you more space? Are we fine with that? We're gonna be good with that? All right, let me align that so it's a little more centered. Boop. Okay, and we could do a little bit more to this. Like, we could say when you hover an input flex group, the span will pad in, which could be kind of interesting. So let's try it. So if you say hover this, then other things could happen, but what we want to do is that span. Let's do a padding left of like 40 pixels. What does that look like? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, look at them dance. Look at them dance their little hearts out. All right, let's do a little transition on the span. We'll ease in that so it just kind of slides over. Yeah, why not? Why not? Do whatever we want. We don't have any clients. Oh boy, that's really far apart though. So maybe we should do a max width on that. Maybe we should just set a width. Let's just set a width. I know you guys, a lot of you guys like kind of came up when responsive was in place. I didn't. And it was weird, man. Like, for a long time, I worked a lot of jobs where you would just literally, you didn't do responsive. There was reactive that kind of came out first. Was it reactive, responsive, and something else? Reactive, responsive, something else. Responsive would be done through CSS. Reactive was all done through JavaScript. I forget the other one. There's a third one. And because of that, I have never really successfully rewired my brain to do like, you know, units that aren't this, that aren't just pixels. And we would literally, like I said, the places I would work, we would a lot of times be like, it has to be pixel down to the pixels. It has to be pixel perfect. So designers would provide screens at like 3 or 4 different resolutions. You'd have like your bigger resolution. You'd have one for smaller screens, which was like a 960 res. You'd have another one at like a 500 or another one at 320 or something. But you'd have these like exact designs, and they would design every single one. And they were really picky about it. And so was I. When I got started as a web designer, I was very picky, and I would be like, no, you have to, like, what you're going to do is you're going to like go to a certain viewport, and everything will just snap in at that viewport. And because you would just like, you'd say, look, people don't do this. They don't browse around like squeezing things around like this. That's not what happens. They enter your site at one size or another. So really, you don't or shouldn't need to cover all the in-betweens. You just cover the major breakpoints. Yes, Interrec, it was called adaptive. Yeah. So reactive, adaptive, and responsive. And for whatever it's worth, I think the one that using JavaScript was kind of stupid, but the idea of just having strict breakpoints, I don't think it's stupid. I think that that's actually, you gain a lot more control over what the person's seeing when you say, I will design a screen that works only at these certain resolutions. But then you do it all the way out to like a 4K screen, right? Or an 8K screen. But that way you're basically making a poster for every single size of the site. But there's a certain point where like even I'll try to do that breakpoint approach when I have a really complicated site, but then at a certain point I'm like, it's on a mobile screen, so everything is going to go to percentages now and relative units. I'm going to do something here just to give like an extra layer of, do I need an extra layer here? Yeah, let's do like a little bit more to say that you're editing this, because we can. So do like a color of, I like that yellow, but I just cannot get it to be working again. But there, it looks awesome. Look at that. That looks super cool. Yeah, I'm going to slow it down just a little bit more. Let's do twice as slow. Too slow. Half as slow. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. It's the little things like this that make me like doing this kind of work. Get a little fixated on it. Okay, so we've got our whole linked accounts table I need to work on. That's going to be a big bear. Let's double check something. Okay. All right. So the linked accounts is going to be, it's a table that contains all your stuff that you've already connected. So for the top table, there's actually like 3 tables here. One's called linked accounts, one's called something else, and one, I don't know. There's other stuff. Early access accounts, there we go. And account tokens. Okay, so they all are in groups. Kind of. There's a table here that groups out with a header and a body. You could add things to this. So imagine that potentially would have to get humongous at some point. Okay. So keeping that in mind, I do want to pull this padding back up and give it to each of these things. So I'm going to pull off the input group, and just so I can target in if I need to, the input group and the account links will all get this padding. So now everything should move in nice and tight like that. And make sure you guys can see that. Yeah, you guys can see it. Okay. So now we've got these guys done. Close that. Account links. So let's just start with the titles, I guess. We'll probably follow that pattern right there. We could do something else because these are a little bit different, because these aren't actions you can take. I almost think that maybe we should let that color be like action color, and then here we'll just use informative color. What would that look like? Links, title. Let's get the font size up just a little bit. Or down, whatever, or down. Color. Let's see, what would be our scheme? We have a pink, a yellow, a blue, a green. We have all these colors right here. An orange. The yellow seems to be like very active. The blue might work, but we've got it here. Nick is thinking the yellow is the one. So we have the yellow or the red. Let's try I think Nick might be right. Yeah, that yellow is pretty dope. So let's keep using it. And we're going to margin down off that. Just a little tiny bit. Oh boy. Sorry for squeaky here. Let's work into the links table now. I don't know if we need to set too much on the links table, other than saying it's a table, but I think the first thing I want to do is just margin it down. So we can see a little separation here. Yeah, now we got our 3 tables. Very cool. All right, let's do some stuff that we used to do back in 2003. Display table. Oh, what's happening? Background color. We're gonna set this to this nice dark blue. I should probably look up what the hell the code is from the other CSS file we did. So here's our display for all this stuff. Let me just, there are ways to do this that were smarter than what I'm doing right now, but we're doing it this way. I'm saving that clip. I'm taking that clip. I'm sticking that clip over here, and I'm going to visually copy it. just kind of look at it and get this all working. Margin bottom, background color. I was close. It's 30.8. And we're going to set it to a width of 100%. And then little border radius, so it looks a little better for the people who like that. And then we're going to overflow hidden is going to make sure that that border radius, when we start to set rows, doesn't take over. Okay, so now we have the row. I could be extracting this into a better class, but we're not going to do that yet. All right, and inside of row, we have a header and we have a body. So just for the row, we'll just tell that to be a table row. You are now a row. Congratulations. But now for the header, we're going to set the font to be a little bit thicker. Well, also we need to do something here where we tell all of it to become table cells. So anything inside of here, the first layer down, you're a table. Congratulations, it's a little table cell. And now we get all this stuff working. Beautiful little table cell. Okay, let's make that header look a little bit better. So we're going to pop the font weight up. Pop that line height way up. Pop that font size up just a little bit. See what that looks like. It did nothing. It did absolutely nothing because that has to be like that. There we go. Boom. Okay. Now we have the body rows. Let's see, background color. I'm gonna do like a little lightweight. Boom. Just to give it a separation. It has the same line height as the other one, so we could combine those. Why don't we just say all the rows get that height? And we're gonna push the font size down just a tiny bit. Stick a tall div below so we can see the table behind you. Oh, good idea. Thanks, man. I forget about that. Thanks for reminding me. I'll learn eventually that I gotta do this. I'm still trying to get used to this crap. Div account links. Let me just find this. Boop. Twitch thing. Oh, did that not do it? You son of a bitch. Why did you not work? Just do 1,000 pixels. There we go. Ah, much better. There we go. Do you guys even want to see my camera? Should I just turn that off? Do you need to see me? Oh, why did I get rid of it? There we go. Think about all the more things you could see if that camera was non-existent. All right, we're gonna do. I don't know if we need this, but we're gonna try a vertical align of middle. Oh yeah, that's a nice bookshelf. And then because we want to make this look a little bit better, I'm gonna do this every other thing to select every other row. And change the background color of it. Boop. Looks a little better. We'll also want to pad in that left value there, or I want to at least. So the first div inside each row, we'll need that. Blip. Okay. Chubby Freak, have I considered using a framework like React Vue or Angular? Yes. What a weird question. You just want to know if I consider things? We're going to probably be using Vue at the very end of this, but what we're doing today is we're making a quick design prototype because we didn't do a design inside of Illustrator. So by bypassing the visual design part, we need something to go off of to, make these designs, to make them work. So we'll take this once it's all designed because it's basic code. This is all just basic code here. That will move over once we add that layer in, probably after we do Rails. So Rails will be the next step. Yeah. And then once Rails is hooked up, we'll hook Vue into Rails. Once Vue is hooked into Rails, I'll figure out how the hell to use Vue. Can take all these as our stepping points and then obviously convert this over to like template code. So then it just jams in, right? Yeah, it's just the design phase right now. Yep. And we'll see. Maybe I hate Vue. Maybe I like it. I don't know. I'm hoping I like it because it seems like it would help me out, kind of speed things up sometimes. For at least smaller projects. It makes sense. Okay, hold on a second. So where were we here? We were right about here. Because this looks fine to me. It doesn't... It displays the information that needs to be displayed. It might not look great, but it displays the information. Interact. I've heard from a lot of people that Vue is at least more intuitive than React. Which I believe, because I think that, don't take this the wrong way, guys, but the guys that use React are way too hidey-tidy about it. And the fact they're hidey-tidy makes it kind of a bit scary for me even to be like, I want to go use that. I have no problem with opinionated frameworks, but there's a difference between the opinionation inside something like Rails and the opinionation and the community with Rails as well, where they're more or less do whatever you want. There's some tools here. If you want to use them, use them. But in React, there's just way too many people that are just this is the only way to do it. And I feel like that's the predominant emotion in that React culture. So as a result, all the code that gets developed for React kind of has that flavoring. And it seems like Vue is made to be easier, smarter, whatever you want to call it. At the end of the day, you want something that's flexible. You don't want something that's very strict. And I just, I don't know. I feel like just the community alone turns me off from React versus Vue. Vue seems like a lot more fun. Seems like people are there. It just reminds me more of the Rails community where people are just yeah, we'll just do whatever you want. But if you want a tool, here's a tool. You can use it. But if you want to throw jQuery inside of Vue, yeah, just go ahead and do that. You can do that. It's no big deal. People just have a lot invested into React. I don't know why. Vue has easy, mid, and complex mode. That sounds good to me. It sounds like Rails. Rails has do the easiest version possible, and they have the you can tweak anything mode. I do want to change the tokens to be monospaced here and here. That might just be on this whole panel. So let me just hit that really quick. So it has a data token. Oh, geez. That little tiny anonymous protest doesn't look great. It's okay. It's there. Now, at this point, we could put the actions in there to replace that or whatever, or to copy it, but you will be presented with this on every screen you're on. You'll be presented with that screen already. So we don't need to double it up. This is just to kind of have a record of the action or whatever. Now, this will get interesting. So the request reset here, does that need to say request reset? Because this is only going to be for Discord or Twitch. I think it would be request. It would only be, and we don't probably even need a title on that. We just need the column ready for it. So let's remove the words there. Leave the empty column. And then we're going to push a button in here that just says like request new. But on Twitch, yeah, you could request a new one. You could say, I want to roll that. I don't care. We'll just put a little thing here. I don't see any reason why you should say, make the logic so you can only request it if it's been consumed. So inside the links table, but we want this to go in two different places. That one's reset and this one's request. Okay. Well, we can put it up here. We can say, maybe it's not just exclusively inside the table. We'll do some logic here and say if there's anything that says data token action equals request, we are actually going to, I'm going to see if this works. I don't know if it will. I'm testing some stuff right now in my head. Can you build this all with a sudo so I don't have to mess with any buttons? Oh, we can even say request, right? Let's just see. Oh, baby. It looks like it. Okay, let's start building it then. Display. We'll do an inline block. Let's make the font size smaller, but then we're going to uppercase it. Let's go a little bit bigger. Okay. Put a little more letter spacing on it. Oop. Okay, let's set the background color just to see where it's at right now in terms of how it's asking for space. Okay, so it's asking for complete and total vertical space, which is actually fine, I think. Like we'll see if we can pull it in a little bit, but it's asking for all the vertical space that it can get, which is, it's fine, but it's weird. Let's see if we can, what would happen if we did pull it back? Like if we said line height 10 pixels. Oh, baby, there it is. Okay. So I don't think we'll be able to pad it, but we can use line height to set that thing. Make it a little bit taller, and then we'll pad just the left and the right. Now we got buttons. We're cooking. Okay. Now for those buttons, this is basically a general request that's going to shoot off to the server. Maybe what we could do is make that kind of light, like a very almost like a transparent version of what they could see. So for the background color, let's do white, but light white, light transparent white. Yeah, just enough so it's there, but not enough so you're blown away by it. Cursor pointer. Okay. And now we'll do, this is going to be the question. Can this also take a hover? I don't know. Maybe it can't. Maybe it can't. The CSS has gone too far. So on hover, we'll brighten it up a little bit, but not too much. We've gone too far. Flew too close to the sun with our pseudo class that also gets hovered. Dang it. Unless close. And got it. So the event listener is a little bit higher. So bingo. Nailed it. For the color, I'm not sure if I like the white colors because I want to separate this off of this. That's cool. That is cool. Thanks, man. Border radius. Oh, that's super cool. Yeah, why not just put the an actual thing in there that says request? That's a good question. That's a real good question. I think we probably should do that just because I feel like we might get effed by this. This is really it. So we're taking a table, but we're taking a table cell. It's just saving us a little bit of space here. I wonder too, can I get a listener onto a pseudo class? I don't know. Can pseudo class have a click listener? Maybe. This is not the website I need to be on. What was that? DigitalOcean? No thanks. I think that's a little weird. I don't know if we'd be able to because that's the pseudo classes get drawn in second. They're treated as attributes of the elements in JavaScript. Thanks, Travelo. Okay, well, let's just make it easy then and just say div button token, and that can ask what it needs to do, and then we'll write the request here. I just want to have one set of buttons, basically. Div button token, and then request. Well, it was fun, but we can get that doing its thing in a second. Should have the exact same appearance. Nope, it doesn't. Damn you. Why? Oh, because this is the bigger version. Let's see. Button token. Takne. Boom. Okay, same thing. So now we know we can talk to those things, right? It's not going to be a problem. The other place we have that little button token is going to be here. That's going to be right there. So you can re-roll that one. The account token, you can also re-roll. So let me do that too. And now this seems like it would be a whatever destructive action, but it's not. So this again won't undo anything you have out there if you request new ones or re-roll these things. It won't unlink anything. It's just going to give you a different unique code. That way, although for these actions, it's not a big deal. That way somebody couldn't like steal your identity there. Here, the tokens get consumed, so it's not as big of a deal because they're just gone. But if you needed to relink because maybe you changed from one username to another, which I know people have done before, your Twitch ID is changed, you can hit that button and get a new one. I do almost think for these buttons, they have a similar function as this. So we might try that color instead. Let's do that. Let's try it. Because they sort of have a changing function. They have like a things are going to do different things. You're not submitting. Why is that not actually transparent? Oh, okay. Yeah, and then when you hover it, we'll let it go to be the full color and just see how that looks. Oh yeah, that's way better. Way better.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Hey Nick, thanks for 3, man. Thanks so much, dude. Just give you a thumbs up. So, okay, on this one right here, you have a key that's right there. I almost wanted to say like that's your key. So that's always going to have a, is that going to have a value? Well, this one we just kind of plug in. Is that going to have something that both of them will have? It does have the data token attribute. Where else can we stick that? Links token. We can stick it here. then it would go there too. Screw it. We'll just put a little title block somewhere. I just wanted to have the thing where it says like, this is your token. Because I don't know if people always get that. Yes. Right. You like, it clearly is marked as token and they're like, or it clearly looks like a token. They're like, I don't know where my token is. You're like, it's right there. What do you think that gobbledygook of text is? It says token. I don't really know what it is. It's just going to be like one more thing in this links code, I guess. Token. Okay. Go to the other one. We should be able to do these both at the same time. That almost spelled Cyclop. You were so close, random text generator. Good for you. Okay, so now we have links code. Let's close this up a little bit. Okay. So links code is probably going to be a little bit of a flexi boy. And now we're going to have to give some margin. Maybe. Probably a bit of padding. Because I'll put some background color on this. I probably want this to be brighter. Like a brighter background color. But not that bright. Maybe that bright. Too bright. Yeah. And then border radius the crap out of it. And then border of some dashed, like a dashed border, so it kind of looks a bit more like code. Try white. I guess that looks like, that's what code looks like, right? Too much border radius though, just way too much, just too much. Probably don't even need it. All right, so now we have to wrestle this in a little bit because this is not how you want this to look. Justify content, we'll spread it out. And I got to figure this out again, but somebody had shown me how to do like packing on one side. So let's get that working again. Let's center it first. And now let's justify the content to just spread this right out. Okay, now what we want is this guy, we want it over here. So I think, I'm trying to go by memory here. That's called links token. Do we just say, oh yeah, look at that. That's it. You just tell it to grow. You say, get bigger. Then I say, oh yeah, I'll get bigger. So the one down here is called something else. So I just have to grab that. It must be, or it's not. It's also, it's called links token hide. Great. It's real smart. Links. Boop. Okay. So now we have that stuff moved into place. You have the ability to re-roll all the way over here, even though it's pretty far away. I think I'm comfortable with it being that far away because I don't want you guys hitting that button all the time. Although you could just keep smacking it. No rate limit, just smack away. Just go for it. Smack to your heart's content. Boom, 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 boom. This will keep changing. Server will slowly go down. I'm hoping we can host this whole thing on a TI-83 calculator, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I got to get some DigitalOcean credits, man. Or something. Some AWS credits. Stuff like this is like, it's, you know, you have to put it on a server. You know, you can't just throw Rails onto HostGator or something, or Netlify. And you're going to need a server. Like, But it's just kind of ridiculous that the server you're going to need is going to be like $20 a month, $240 a year, $2,400 a decade. It adds up. All right, let's work on this part of it first, where it says token. Why is that and this on two different layers? Like vertically. Is that centered differently than this centered? Damn it. I kind of want to make that color like dark, but not so dark you can't see it, but also not so bright that it competes with the other thing. That's so dark you can't see it. That's not what I wanted. I guess that's acceptable. Let's go bigger on the font size rather than smaller. And let's make this bigger for font size. So we're going to develop these two ones independently because they have these different displays, but we'll bring it back in. Let me just start this first. So font size of 15 pixels. Oh, it went down 20 pixels. A little better. And we're going to do letter spacing on that of like 2 pixels, spread it out a little bit. So now you see your token. That is something you may actually want to copy. So we can do that little copyable on it. Or you can just select it. Screw it. Does AWS still do free 12 months? If so, just roll it with a new email and credit card. Yes, I think they do. Yeah, I think so. What kills me, dude? I'll tell you what kills me. If you want free credits, a lot of companies have programs for free credits. Like AWS has 5,000 free bucks they give you. DigitalOcean has like 10,000 bucks. IBM has 12,000. What kills me about it is, the only people that get those are people that go through accelerators. Like they say, like you have to have an accelerator or something. The other thing you can do is that Stripe Atlas, they somehow got those deals. So I've been thinking about just starting a new LLC and being like, let me just spend the $500 to roll the LLC on Stripe Atlas because it comes with 5,000 AWS credits and 10,000 DigitalOcean credits. So you basically, for $500, you get $15,000 back, right? And you just have to have it running under a new business, I guess. I don't think they check into anything. And you just immediately file for the LLC, cancel the LLC, and take your credits and be on your merry way to Bitcoin mining, I think that's good though. All right, so we just need a little quick thing here to show the token. This guy is going to be interesting. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a thing where we put a little button here that lets you show this. This does not look as good as it could look. I think it's these. There's a lot of things going wrong here, but we're just going to blame it on that little dashed light white line. Fix that really quick. 0.5. Okay. Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll do a little bit of a listener here to toggle a class. And let me see. Token early. It's going to be this one. So a links token hidden. Oh, data hideable is our thing. So if you click a span inside of a data hideable, then we will unclass hidden and do shown, which is going to do what here? Well, not only will we unclass that, we'll also change the input type inside the data hideable to text. Okay. Let's write that JavaScript first so we can get that. We can at least be able to like see that happening. Inside the span here, we are going to want to set that to something just for right now. Token. With, what is that? Data hideable. Okay, let me just tap into the span and just give it a content of something hidden. It didn't even show up. Crap. Links token. Span. Come on, give yourself some credit, buddy. Where are you at? Where are you at? You get that feeling where you just don't understand what things are happening anymore? That's what I'm having right now. Links token, data hideable, selected. That's selected. Right, background. Let's see. Maybe I screwed something up here. Give that the red. Oh, come on. You're right there. Come on. Come on. Can spans not get... Oh, I'm an idiot. Before. Oh, looks good. So bad. We'll just let that be that thing. We'll just let that stay there for a second, because what we're going to do is we're going to use... we're just going to see if we can toggle this. So if we say... obviously, we're going to want to set this. So we'll say, and if it's hidden, show... This sounds so stupid. The content for that will be show. And if it's not hidden, I guess, we could... Do we want to do that if it's not hidden, or do we want to just say visible? I think it might make more sense to not toggle a class, but to replace a class. I know there's people that would fight me about that, so come on, fight me. Hide. We'll move that span stuff up higher. Now let's put a bind on this. Don't do it this way. Okay, so we say on the viewport, we need a future aware bind, because this, who God knows when this is going to work. We're going to target into a thing, anything that's called data hideable. And then if inside of data hideable, the span is clicked, run this function. I gotta need to start writing these as arrows, because that'll be my transition point. But I'm not going to do it right now. So if you do that, then we have a this. And the this is the span, I think. Okay. So if this is the span, then we need to be able to get the parent. And then the parent is going to need... Whoa, boy. Is going to need to get selected through the this. And just this parent. Easy peasy. The password is going to need to, or the input is going to need to come in and get selected through the parent as just the input. Could have done a sibling, I think, too, but that's easy peasy. So now we got the two things we need to talk to. Now we'll do a check. If parent has class hidden, then, oh boy, we'll execute our first bit of logic. So if it's hidden, we're flipping it to show. So parent remove class of hidden. Yeah, PHP variables. This is how I write them. So I use $signs when I write anything that I'm selecting into and saying like that's a element. I use $signs because now I know Mentally, I know I can do any jQuery crap on this. Okay, so that should remove the class of hidden, add the class of visible, and now on the input, we're going to change the type of input to text. Okay, and then that, we don't want that running twice, so let's do a quick else and just kind of flip all these things. So if it's, the else just means it doesn't have the class of hidden. That was a weird noise. What the fuck was that noise? Did you guys hear that? What was that? I don't know if that came through my speakers. It sounded like something was inside my brain for a second. Else flip to hidden. Okay, so it's going to be a parent. So you heard it. What the hell was that? What was that? What was it? The only thing I got going right now is this this stream. Is that what yeah, jeez. Jeez. Did Microsoft just install something into my headphones? It's like, it's time, Greg. Time for you to buy an Xbox. Nothing showed up on my screen anywhere. That noise just occurred. So anyways, so we're just gonna know that if it oh jeez, dude, same thing again. Where the hell did that come from? For real, where is that coming from? Just relax and enjoy my new Xbox. Is my computer an Xbox now? Where did that come from? I'm so confused. Because that second one happened when you said dirty Microsoft. Oh boy. Who is in my computer right now? Listen, if you're inside my computer, just chill out. Let me finish the stream. We can have a chat. The chip in my brain has been installed. Okay, so you guys are all hearing it. There's nothing else. There's nothing else turned on my computer. It's like these browser windows are open. There's pre-pros, which as far as I know doesn't make any noise. There's that. There's this. What the fuck could it be? It's the MS bomb. Did it happen? Did Microsoft finally gain sentience? It's possible. Cortana, she's been learning stuff. I don't think it's happening over here in Twitch, or in Discord rather. Oh, I'm so confused by this. I'm gonna just leave. It's the cheese. I don't think it's the cheese bot. Is there some, there must be some way I can see what's making noise. Right? Is there something that I can see that would be like, it's making noise? Is it LAN Messenger? You piece of shit. Is it that? Is it LAN Messenger? One of you son of bitches message me? Yo, just message me. Oh, that noise I know. I don't think it's this. I'm going to close it. All right. Now, if he messages me now, do I get it? Motherfucker, I said message me in 2 seconds. He's not messaging me at all. What the fuck is he doing out there? That's a different noise, right? Did we just get a different noise? We did. That might be the culprit. That could very well be the culprit. LAN Messenger being weird. Sorry, guys. I gotta see. Aha. It is. Son of a bitch. Get out of here. No more of that noise. Weird. It could be hiding a notification. No, not really. Just that Docker's up. Okay, well, that thoroughly broke my programming flow. Sorry about that, guys. So we were adding the types to these so we could hide and show the value here. Let's see. Look at that. That's it. Bingo, bango. Oh, sorry about that. Bingo, bango. Let it re-bingo, bango. Bingo, bango. All right. So we don't want somebody to be able to select that. So we're going to make it a little bit wider. We know how wide this should be based on the fact that it's a 32 character thing. Is that right? 16? It's way more than 16. Should be 32, right? So I think we should be able to say size 32 and it'll just be like the right size for that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Slap a quick style on that. Make it look pretty. Done with JavaScript. So back here. Okay, so we know the data hideable one's going to have the input, unlike the other ones. So for this, I think we really do just kind of hide this thing down. Well, first of all, those spans look horrendous. So let's figure that out. And span before. I don't know if I have to set that before I can write the content or after I write the content, but I'm going to try. Imagine you're okay to do that. Okay, good. So that would be font size tiny, tiny, tiny. And then uppercase that. And then make it look like it's something you could click to get an action done. Color. Probably red. Oh, red is not the color? Red's not the color. I'll try blue. That's not it either. Well, let's do white, because I don't think that token's going to be in white. Okay, and then we have to do probably user select none on the span. I hope that does it. You can see how it was highlighting. Yeah, it's highlighting again. Shit. It's not that. You don't want to user select none everything, but potentially we could user select that whole thing first, and then we'll reapply user selection to the token field. Because like now, oh, you still can. So input fields just say, I don't care what the user select says. I'm doing my own thing. Good for you. You're strong, independent DOM element. You don't give a shit about what everybody else says. You just do your own thing. Just keep being you. Input elements. This is the worst. This is why web development sucks. All the damn independent nation states of DOM elements. So links token, value, input type, password. The size is good. Let's start getting to work on that input. I do want to, I'll come back to that to get something a little bit nicer in there. I feel like it's going to resolve when I come up with this. So let's start messing around with this guy. Step 1, get rid of your background color. We might put that back in, but we're definitely getting rid of it right now. Outline's going to go gonzo. And the border will go gonzo. Perfect. Because we want it to look more like this one. Let's take the color and make it white. And let's take the font family and make it Anonymous Pro. That looks horrendous. What happened with this guy? Let's put the outline back on because something just happened. So that's centered to this, and then this is just doing its own thing, just up on its own centering piece. Wonderful. Okay. Maybe what we need to do is give the input some height. And now it's changed yet again. But that looks like it now it's centered up, at least. What else can we do here? Add important. Thanks, Tora. Thanks for the sage advice. If it ain't working, you just add important until it starts working. Let's try that font family again with Anonymous Pro. And okay, and then we'll just mono space that bad boy, just in case you don't have Anonymous Pro installed. Did that cut that off? You cut it off like a, what in the world is wrong with you? What is wrong? What in the world is wrong with you, inputs? All right, let's we're gonna play that game with 100%. Oh, of course. Why would you give me enough space to put this button next to you? God. Just one day without this. Oh, it doesn't matter. That mono space. Thanks for catching it, but it doesn't matter. Oh, yeah, son of a. Well, we could put the button underneath it. There's no reason not to, but dang it, I want it all in one line. Screw it. We're doing 2 lines because things. Let's make that font size a little bit bigger. Font size. Not too big. Not too big, Greg. Sure. It's not as big as that one, but I feel like that's okay. Size isn't always the most important thing. Okay, so you can copy. Oh, fucking hell. Outline none. Oh, why are you running spell check on this? It's a password. Off, maybe? Sure. Is that it? Oh, you idiot. Spell check false. Why would it be false and off? Why would it be 2 different things? There we go. Okay, wonderful. Thank you for that. Thank you for that waste of time. Okay, now we have this thing over here. We're probably okay. Maybe make that look a little bit different. I don't really know what to do with it. Smaller? Is smaller the way to go? How small can I make it? That small. I can still click it. Something about it just doesn't look right. I can see why people like back out of that and they sort of say, screw it, we're going to put this little button that's like an eye or something like that. So the color, we can probably change the color, but I just don't know what color to change it to. We have a red that's definitely not the right color for that, because the red is I would say almost like a permanent action. We use it up here for logging out. This thing could maybe change color to give us the ability to use a light gray here. This guy, Pink Boy, that could be different. You think it should be a black background, Flyboy? Well, I think it should be this light background. So, oh, you want to actually make it a button? Like, you think this should actually just be a button? That could help. Yeah. Okay. I'm with you. That could help, because that's what's the problem is. It's like you don't know to click it. It's there, but you don't really know to click it. So let's try it. Background, color. Give the old Rigba 000.8. Oh, unexpected expression. Where did that happen? Oh, that right there. So, looks good. Let's give it a little more font size. We'll pat it in. But too much. Oh, it's too much. Okay, and then we'll say, what are we doing here? Border radius, 5 pixels. Sure. I mean, it's not pretty, but it does the job. And we're not looking to win a Webby with this thing. So it does the job, is good enough for me right now. Let's do a little thing so when you hover it, maybe it lightens up, brightens up a little bit. One day I'll get my typing back. Not today though. Oh, that's not the way. It's not the way to do it, Craig. How's it going, Chris? That works. Just a little, I know that I'm doing something button. Put a little transition on it. And that should be good to go. Yeah. Cool. I think we could take a quick look and make sure we got this all right. We could definitely put a little more spacing between these guys because they kind of look like they're falling into each other. I don't want to put any icons into it, Fox, because if we start bringing an icon pack in, there's all these other places that could get icons. I don't want to use it. So if you're in the settings, you don't really have a way to see that you're in the settings other than the fact the giant thing that says you're in it. Let's see. That's good. That's good. These, a little space would probably be good, or a little something would be good here. Just a little something to break them up. So each one of these groups is called what? We have links code. So what we'll probably want to do is just say this is going to be a different set of code for this. Let's see if we do a little bit more. There's a little margin bottom on each one of these. I'm going to do it just a little bit more. Just a little more space. But didn't we set that all? We didn't set that all as one thing? Links table. Hold on a sec. So we have, links code, and then we have links table of these things. So the links tables need to get a little more push. Do that. Boop. That's the title. Boop. There we go. Maybe an HR to break them up. Yeah, I think so, Flyboy. But I'm going to try to avoid using an HR if I can. Let's see if we can do it with just some CSS. So we should be able to say like links. We'll do it separated down here because why not? It's not like there's any limit to the number of times you can tell a selector what to do. So we'll say, what if we say border bottom 1 pix solid red? What is that going to look like? Dude, that actually looks kind of cool. It gives the table dimension because it wraps underneath this the bottom part. But yeah, let's see if we can do something a little better than that. So we say links table after content blank, and then probably display a block. Okay, so we're getting these different things. Width of 100%, and then bottom of -10 pixels. It doesn't want to move. Does it need to be positioned? Probably. Yeah, you'll start to see how to do this. It's the benefit to doing it with CSS is you can write your logic in your CSS, which people will tell you don't write logic in your CSS, but you can write the logic in the CSS, and by writing the logic in the CSS, you don't have to worry about it on your back end. So you can just keep adding stuff. You don't have to go and adjust this every time. But it takes a little bit of finagling to get it to work. Because like right now we lost the element that was doing it for. So I've got to figure out where that element just went. So up in the links table, we're saying create a pseudo element after each linked table. Doesn't matter. After or before doesn't really matter. Display of table. We're giving it a position of relative, which should have gotten this dialed in, but the problem is this overflow hidden is probably killing the ability to do that. So that's the only thing we can talk to though, right? Are these grouped out in any way, shape, or form? They have a title. You could do it before each title. That would work too. Yeah, let's just rewrite it to do it that way. Because the titles consistently happen. Whoops, is that same stupid thing? Okay, there's all of them. Okay, so we had 3 that we wanted, and they all decided that's where they are going to live. When left to their own devices, divs will tend to congregate. They're a collective species. They enjoy the company of other divs. So now we have to separate them, divide and conquer. So we've already told it to be a bottom of whatever. So what we're going to do is say a top. Or we can say a bottom of 100%. That'll push it up right above those things. And if we want to push them up even more, we have to dial this in a little bit. So you can say like calc 100% plus a value or minus a value. Kind of moving them up a little bit. And now we've got them kind of where we want them. Just maybe a little bit more. Yep. And now let's dial them back in. Let's say 1 pixel and background color of just an RGBA 255, 255, 255, 0.5. Blip. No, we don't want that first one, do we? Because that looks silly. And even these are they're probably a little too bright. Yeah, it's a little basic HR like that. And now I think I want them a little bit wider than this. So we can say width, we'll say 130%. And then we'll back the left out -15%. That should kind of get them into place. A little too much. That's still too much, Greg. What are you doing? 110. Back it out by 5. Oh, there we go. Just a little tiny boy. No, top one. We don't want that, right? So what's the easy way to do that? Ask the title. Say the first of type. After nothing. Do you just display none? Maybe. Boom. There it goes. Gone from the first one. That's the CSS way. You're gonna write a little bit of weird stuff to pull it off, but that way you either use first of type or last of type, and that way you're doing the same thing you would do with an HR, really, by doing this. You're creating this little piece on the whatever on the DOM, but now you're just like applying some logic to say you put it in between these ones, but not at the first one. Hexified, are there any long-term plans for finishing the build method or starting it? So I don't know if I have it on this computer, but you would be kind of surprised. Maybe I do. You want to see something crazy? Let me pull this off screen for a second because I'm gonna have to drop into my drive. Oh, good God. And who knows what's in here? It's where I store all the secrets. All right. Well, I can show you some stuff. We did a lot of work on it. We have these documents, kind of information design things that we were putting together. We have different profiles for, different things. We have oodles of write-ups on different parts of the build method. But the big thing that we have is this. This is a transcript for the book that I had a friend help me work out, and it is massive. It's still loading. That's Google still loading something. You don't get to see that very much. So it's 180 pages long, 92,966 words. We have a book. It's ready. We need to write it. This is basically the book all written out. But it needs to be I need to get somebody who's a really good writer to kind of turn it into a book at this point, if that makes sense. Because what we got right now is it's the book, but it's raw. It's like a first draft. And I think we even have like an outline for the book so many years ago. Look at this thing. The problem is that books are really expensive to get right. We could get somebody to come in and write it for like $30,000, but to get a good person, it might cost a lot more. And I'm not a writer, so it doesn't really help me at all to do this. But look, this is all inside of a program called Scrivener, where we started to go in and write all of these things. You can see the stuff where we kind of stopped here. See all these different chapters and describing things, and these are all the different sections. So all of this is, like I said, written. It's just kind of written in a very raw form. Trying to see the other thing we did for it, which you could have seen, like if you were here when I first started streaming, I was actually doing a website for the build method, and I don't know if I have it on here. I don't think I do have it on here. Let me check once I get out of this folder madness again. Omatum. But I would, it's something like I really want to do. It's just I want to do it the right way. I don't want to release like a shitty book about how to run your company because I think that there's too many of those out there. And I think the problem with shitty books on how to run your company is that people read them and they don't realize that they're shitty, and they try the stuff out and the company disappears. You do remember when I was making that site? Yeah, wasn't that such a cool site, right? Like we had done, I don't think I have it on here, so I'm gonna stop looking. I should get that into a point of like pre-launch again, because it was basically like a custom WordPress site. That was the most custom you could ever do on WordPress, which is kind of interesting to show people, because it's like, yeah, look at what WordPress can do. It can, totally custom CMS with tons of custom tagging, and it doesn't even look like WordPress. You would never know that's WordPress. We could hide it. We could completely hide it. The site is still live, right? The build method. Yeah, but the build method this is just, apparently it's not live. Thebuildmethod.com. I don't know why that's not live, dude. Oh, it is, but it's not on a hit-ups. Yeah. But this site is less, it's not what the site's going to turn into. Okay. Like the one we made was like, you saw it, Haxified, was insane. It was like, basically we were going to do a place where we could post articles plus a place where we could have like a Wikipedia. So if you want to just be like, I need to go learn about how to run a meeting better, we would have like these little tools built in to run the meeting. So I don't think I've ever read Good to Great. Do I remember the old Badger? I think the old Badger's still up somewhere, about Badger Alpha. Nope, that's the new one. I believe the old Badger still exists. So the kind of the sequence that I want to run here, would be like, I don't want to do anything with bug plug yet. I want to wait until the browser updates, but I want to I want to finish up OmatumBucks cache, and then we're going to kind of have this like fork in the road. Like, what are we going to work on? And sort of the stuff that I'm thinking about, like if I had a way to kind of move through content that I want to get launched, I would love to launch Badger V2, because Badger V2, first of all, just to get the landing page up, like that landing page is very nice. I think it's so pretty, and it's just kind of a nice thing to put out into the world, let people use it for free or something, and go from there. But I'd love to get that up. I wish I had the balls to pay a writer like $50,000 or $60,000 to do the build method, but I don't. So, because I just like, you could pay somebody a lot of money and it could come back like absolute garbage. But that would be the next thing on the list that I'd love to do. And in terms of the build software, that actual software to do all this stuff, I don't know if I'll ever do it. I really don't, because I would probably take like somebody who, it would probably take funding, to be honest. Because like you really have to, I would almost like let that be fun and be like, guys, just make it. Like, I don't care about it. Here's the designs I came up with. Somebody else make it. Like, because I think it's a product that would change the way people work quite a bit in a good way, but it's going to take a lot of money, because I don't think it's going to be easy to sell at first. Yeah, Badger V2 is awesome. I still use it. Boop. This is where my wife tells me to do things. Hopefully there's nothing embarrassing in here, but there probably will be. Oh, can I even get into it though? Do I use it on this computer is the question. Let me just boop. Greg. Well, this is the coolest thing about Badger is like you log into it and it's like, hey, I recognize your email. And that's you, Grego. Like, yep, that's me. Oh boy. I just have to remember my password to get in. Oh, no. I don't think I have the password to get in. That stinks. I don't want to do all the reset stuff right now. Because our password reset system is more like, it's all magic token based. So if somebody saw that token before it was consumed, they'd have my account. They'd own it. Dang. Gregothy. It might be Gregothy. Let me see. Gregothy. Log in. No. Nope. Dang it. But this is, I don't know. This is like, I wish I could show it to you guys, but it's one of my favorite apps. You know what? I kind of want to, I want to just do it. So Badger, I'll just get the reset and give me a second to. Log in. Yeah, send me that. Get the fuck out of here. All right, I gotta pull this off screen for a second because again, magic links. I don't even know if those things are sending, to be honest. I didn't even think about that. We may have turned off the email service at some point. Whoop. Hunter 2. Why? Yeah, maybe it's not. Maybe it's dead. It shouldn't be. You know what? It might just be delivering slow. The place we use to send these emails out, it's supposed to be really good, but I noticed that a lot of times it'll deliver out like 5 minutes late, even though it's like an $80 a month email provider. Yeah, idiots. This makes for good content. Am I in the right email? Yes. I don't think I can create accounts, so that's a problem. It's really kind of scary. I can keep logging into this. Come on. Yeah, for some reason that failed. So I may have turned off the email. Or it might be coming in 10 minutes. Anyways. Yeah, I would love to work on that. Like, there's a lot of stuff, though, Haxified, that I keep calling it Haxified, Robert. I like to move forward on projects, and if I face a little too much resistance in a project, I mean, I am not the type of guy to dig my heels in and just say like, I'm gonna make it work no matter what, because you know, like, that's a good way to lose your house. So you still get reminders, Nick? What is wrong with it then? Nothing on that service should have turned off. Maybe there's something like password resets were disabled for my account, but I don't see why I would have done that. I'm real confused. I'm going to guess it's just slow emails. That's what I'll guess then. It's going to be like, oh, a week from now, it'll end up in my thing. Well, let's see. I mean, I requested the email. I'll request one more. I don't think it re-rolls tokens when you do that. It might. Yeah, we'll wait. Let's just wait. I'm going to take a quick break, though. I can take a break, and if it comes up, we can go through it. I think the plus side is we've pretty much have got our user dashboard here done. So the rest of the stream can just be chatting, and we can kind of go through some of the planning for the next steps. But I'll be back in, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, guys. In the meantime, you just saw a link pop up for your YouTube. Go check it out. We're doing really cool stuff there. Got these guys in the other room that make content every single day. They're the content mill. They try to take these long streams and kind of, just like orange juice, they kind of squeeze it down into some really nice, palatable content. Check it out. Give us a little sub there. If you like the content, share with your friends. Hit the like buttons, comment on it, tell us how to get better. This is kind of our business, so just tell us what we can do to make it better for you guys, and we'll do it. We also have a Discord channel you can come and check out. Look at this nice new Omatum.chat domain. So nice. So very nice. There's the fucking email from Badger. Took you long enough, piece of shit. But yeah, it's like it's a little community we're trying to start up. The more people we get in there, the better. Kind of got to get over a threshold of members there. But we're getting bigger. We grow every day. Yeah. Well, anyways, I'll be back in just a few minutes. Enjoy the break and check that stuff out. See you guys soon. Okay. Oh, we are so close to 350 subs on YouTube. If you're not subscribed, subscribe so we get the joy of seeing it go to 350. Let's see. Are we there? Are we there yet? 347. Come on. 3 more. 3 more. We're still really far away from monetizing the channel, but we're getting closer. Halfway to the watch hours. Oh yeah. Oh, that says 346 there. Getting closer. Come on. What will you guys do if we get to 350? Guys in the other room. Tell all your friends. Yeah, Zach's got it. So I got my my token for logging into Badger, so I can show it to you guys. If you guys haven't seen it, I was just thinking about it on my break that like, really, we could launch it, but we need to have something like NanoBox to do it. So if we were to launch it, I almost say like we need to make Duranki next, which is our platform as a service, and then we can use that to launch Badger. Badger is in a like 50 lines of code, and it's ready to go kind of state. So let me pop my email and do this off screen. Just give me 1 second. I can show you this sweet email. Oh, it's so sweet. Just see it for a tenth of a second. So the magic token actually doesn't reset your password. It just like logs you right in. Forgot that. That's the thing. Okay, new password. Let's do this one. Let me set a different password. Hold on a second. Okay, let me just update this. Let me log out. All right. Real smart, Chrome. You're the smartest. Don't ever get less smart. So the way Badger works is you have these. Oh, wait a second. So if I had typed in, I could have signed up if I didn't have an email. Forgot about that. I would have needed an onboarding key, but. Do I remember the password I just set? Is the real question. There we go. Stop. So this is Badger, and there's gonna be a little bit of stuff cut off over here, but it's just users. So walk you through the UI. We'll go far left to right. On the far left, you have these things that we call workshops. I'm in my personal workshop right now. If I wanted to move into another workshop, like just like that, now we're inside of it. There's nothing in here that IO inside of the studios, but there are tasks that inside studios, somebody has to do them. And these are just regular tasks, so I'll explain what that means in a second. There's kind of like different groups of tasks that we could have. But let's say like I'm going to fix the seam in the wallpaper. I could take this and I could assign it to myself, but I'm not going to do that because somebody else has to do it. Let me see. I do have to do a new stream banner, and I have to do that. So I'm going to assign that to myself. You get that nice little noise, which I don't know if you guys can hear because I think the browser noises are turned off. But let's say I was going to start working on it. You can see over here in the top right, this is like all the crap I have to get done that's assigned to me. And it's just kind of floating around me. So when I start working on something, it's going to say that that task is actually represented as an item on this animation. So it'll connect in, and then we can start to see this thing, which is like the what you're working on right now. It's telling everybody else on the team that I'm currently working on it. So you can see that right there, like that saying Twitch stream banner. I've been working on it for 0 minutes. I get a little timer so I can, time my work if I want to. I have a little thing where I can mark it as done. And then if there were things I needed to do, if I couldn't get this done, I could say, okay, I can't get it done because I need something else to happen. And I can give this to somebody else. Like I could say, hey, I can't get this done because, I don't know, I need content for this. And then I could say self-assign that because maybe I need content myself. I can give it description. I can use attachments. Like I can add things in here to give, more information to the person. And then I can hit that button to start badgering. And now what's going to happen is you see I just created a dependency on this. So I can pause working on this. I can go to the dependency and start working on this. Now when I'm in the dependency, if I mark this as done, boop, you see that it's going to do this little toast. And once that toast is done, see it's going, I paused it. So once it's done, boop, it's going to send that out as a completed thing right there. And now if I go to look at that item that I now owe, you can see that it had a dependency that got completed. If I need to see the result of that, I can put it there. Now that's the basic kind of task inside of this program. You see up here, there's these tasks, right? These different types. This is how you create. It's up in the top. But now let's say I wanted to take something and I need stream schedule, copy, subscription names. So subscription names is kind of an interesting one. I could self-assign that again. And I get that little kind of animation saying it's being self-assigned. And now I need to create a dependency. Now, if I want to go even deeper, so I know I need something called subscription names that needs to get completed. So I could create a dependency for this, but let's say I don't want it to be a checklist. What if I wanted somebody to actually fill in the names? So I could click this thing, which is a question. So I could say, apply our names for subscription levels. And maybe I know that there's like 5 levels. So I could say level 1, level 2, let's just say 3. It's a little bit easier. And I'll self-assign that one to myself and then start badgering myself. So now I've got another task that just got created for myself. So I can click into that. And now I have these things. So I can say level 1, Omatum Maniac. Level 2, Omatum Amazing. And level 3, Omatum Midnight. Like save all these. And it's not going to let me complete this until I have all of these things filled out. But now they're all filled out, I can deliver it. Now, if this wasn't me on the other end, because it's me, it's not going to give me a thing saying that you completed it. But now if I go and close this and say I need to complete this thing, the dependency's done, I can read it, I can't edit it. Bingo, bango. And we created a lot of these sort of like custom task types because I think this is the major flaw of a lot of task management systems is that they are simply you just ask somebody to do something for you or like you're assigning something in, but it doesn't have these conditional completion things. And that's the major thing that differentiates Badger. The other thing is that if I'm in my personal thing or if we have it enabled up here in the workshops, let me see. It's a pretty damn complicated app. If we have it enabled, it'll start emailing me out randomly. Like, I don't remember where we have that code, but it essentially like if you have to get something done, instead of sending you a reminder like a day before it's due, if I go in here, I can kind of show how this works. Let's say I take my wife, and I'm going to just drag her up here so I can assign this. I can see that she's got 4 things she's working on, which is kind of neat. See her little picture. And then I could say, I don't know, get me salad from the store. And let's say I need that done by Saturday. So I'll go down to the deadline and I will set a deadline for tomorrow. Just like that. I can set a time. And what it's going to do is it's going to send out a request right now. Okay. Like right here. And it's going to send an email out. Now, as time goes on, you get closer to the deadline, it's going to spike up the frequency of those emails, but it's going to be random. So as you get closer to the deadline, the frequency goes from like, it'll be like 1 email per some division of the time before it has to be done. That division is going to get shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter as it gets closer to the deadline. Once it hits the deadline, it'll just say you failed, and then it will start to do like a once a day thing to get it done. But it's basically to make sure she gets something done. She's going to get all these random emails. There's no telling when they're going to actually get sent out. They just send out randomly, and it's kind of a neat system, in my opinion. It'll send out hundreds, if not thousands, of emails to get you to get something done. What's even more interesting to me about this is like if I'm going to I'll just self-assign something, is that like the ways that you can do the ways that you can mutate the request type to require different types of completion, to me at least, is perfect. So we can obviously, like I said, we can set description and instructions for people. Like that's easy. You can set an attachment to sort of say like add that attachment so they can see it when they get the request, right? You can set the deadline. That's all just normal stuff. So let me just close that. But where it gets even crazy is when you say, I have 5 things for you to do, right? And you have to click done on every one of these things before you're done with it. So it's an easy way for me to send like a process over to somebody. And then if I really wanted to, if I said like, that's an important process. So go to, this is stupid. This is for going to the store. Go to salad aisle, find bacon Caesar, because that's what I have for salad. Put in cart. Now we can quickly edit that. Check out, put in car, come home, put in fridge. So I can do that. And then what I can have this thing and I can say, well, that's got to happen once a week. So I can save this like this as a template. And then when I want to use that again, so let me clear this all out. Let me clear this out. I can easily just say, give me a template. Get me the salad from the store. Boom. And it just puts all that stuff right back in. And that works for any one of these task types. So everything is savable as a template and recallable. And you can see how many times it's been done, the last time it's been done. But the different types of task types we have, I mean, it's pretty extensive. We have these ones, which are called repeaters, I think. Yeah, repeaters. So this could be like something that you need somebody to do multiple times in a short period of time. So I don't have any great examples for this. Like when we were building the product, we had some actual like tangible things for each one of these. But if we're just going to make an example, we could say do sit-ups and then stick 50 in here, self-assign it, start badgering, and then do sit-ups 50 times. It kind of figures out what you're supposed to be doing. You can say start doing this, and then you just keep tapping this up. Oh geez, see it go. And you see a little progress bar here. Though, and it does have a mobile version, and then you did all 50, tap it as done. You can undo it if you weren't actually done. Tap it as done again. And so it's going to wait. If you log out during this, I have no clue what happens, but it's going to wait until you're done, and then it's going to show you the history of when these things were actually marked as done. And close that. And then the other stuff we have is questions, which I showed you guys. You can ask somebody a question, get text back. You could do multiple selections. So you could say like where to eat dinner tonight and send this to whoever. You could say Arby's. Don't ever select Arby's. Golden Corral. Don't go there either. Applebee's, equally as shit. Marker 32. Marker 32 is a great restaurant here in town. Outback Steakhouse. Right. So you just add all those. You can send it to somebody else, but I'm going to self-assign it. It's a little easier. And then what that will look like for them is this. You have to select one of these things, select it, complete it. And now on the other end, you're just going to see that how that was given to you. You're going to see that that is like delivered, and it's got this as a result. What's really interesting about this too is like, well, I'll show that feature in a second. I don't think I have a way to demo it, but I can show you the feature. The other thing we have is an uploader. So we could say, I need some sort of file, and boop. Then you can change the amount of files that you might need. So let's say you had, you wanted stock photography or something like that. You say, send me 5 times cat photos, something like this. Give me cat photos. Self-assign it. Boom. And now for that, it's going to literally say, upload your cat photos. You could do them one at a time, like that. And it's going to say you're going to need 4 more. So, or you could, I think we could do multiple. No, you can't. I don't think, maybe we didn't figure that part out. But you're going to keep uploading. It's going to keep marking these off. It's a little funky. It's kind of going back to 0 every time. But now you got 5 cat photos that you delivered. Not really cat photos. I wish they were. Boom. Done. Go to delivered. See cat photos. You see all the ones there. Now you have a nice little gallery you can go through. You can download the originals. Did we not hook up a gallery here? Apparently we didn't. I thought we had some way to go through that. Oh, the binding got screwed up. It was moving through these. Because you can use the arrow keys to move through this too. You see how fast this is? This is all a custom framework. This is all a custom JavaScript framework. It's very quick to move information in and out. And the name of that framework is something we can't say anymore. It's MAGA, M-A-G-A, Make Applications Great Again, the framework. I think the last thing is a timer. So you could literally say like run timer. This will require you to run a timer for a set number of time. Whoa, that's weird. Why don't you just tell me how long you want it to be? So you could actually say like 20 seconds. Well, that's what it already says, right? 10 seconds. And it's supposed to be able to convert that back. Whoa, okay, it did. 20 seconds. Oh, does it really figure it out that quick? 20 minutes. Yeah, as soon as it finds a match, it'll put it back up there. But the longest we say you could run it is like 9 hours. Anyways, you do that, you hit start badgering. Now the person's going to have this thing where the way to do this is you start the timer like that. You could also start it over here. The timer starts running. If they pause the timer, log out, log it, whatever, it's got to keep running. So it has to be run for this period of time. So we figured you could use that for somebody to say, hey, could you just like for 15 minutes, just spend 15 minutes doing something, and boom, done. Off it goes. So that's the one layer of this app. The second layer of the app is what we were going to try to monetize. So in this layer, I invite people like this. I just tap their email in, their first name, last name. They come into a little system here. These are just my personal connections, though. I have no pending connection request. That's great. I have no ignored one. That's great. Roll that up. But inside of a workshop, like someplace where we're trying to get work done, this is where it gets kind of interesting. So actually we have people that are on it right now. Nick is logged in right now, and so is Kjell de Becker. I don't know who that is. It's definitely one of you guys. So hey guys. And Nick is logged in. You can't really see his profile photo that well, but there. Some of the nice features that we built in here is, let me move this over here. One of the nice features we built in was being able to tell people, like, Nick is in BST time. And it's 12:30 his time right now, in the evening, which is kind of cool, right? To be able to see, like, hey, this is what that person's local time is. And that's a very easy thing to figure out. Christy's in it right now. God knows what Christy's doing in there. And that's not the best responsive sheet there, Greg. No, that's probably because it's a little too narrow. There we go. Oh, it's still a little too narrow. Anyways, you can kind of see, like, so you get online offline status inside of the app, which is really cool. And now what's really, really cool about the workshops, now we're not going to do it because it's going to badger out everybody that's in here. First of all, you do have account level access for all these things. So I can say inside of the general group, I can rename it. Oh, I can't do it here because general is the server wide one that you can't change. But I have Badger Super Friends where I can literally move people in and out of a group. Right? So I can actually do another team here. Let's say like test team and create that. Oh, that's got to be fixed. But now in my test team, it just shows me. So I have to add people into it. So I might take, where do I add people? Oh, it's this little button here. So that's something I should probably do. So if I want to go through and I want to make Christy an administrator, I'm going to take Gil and stick him in as a member. I'm going to take Nick and stick him in as a contributor. This is activating different layers of permissions for it. And we should probably write something to say what those are, but this is not a done app, right? This is very close to being done. It's not done. So now we have these people inside of here. I think contributors are only allowed to complete tasks. Members are allowed to create tasks, and admins are allowed to move people around in here. The owner is just the person who can add admins. So if I wanted to transfer this to Christy, do I have a way to do that here? I probably should have a way to do that here, but I don't. Oh, yeah. So I can go to team ownership and move it over to Christy and make her the owner. But I think I can move it to any one of those guys. I can move it to Kjell. Yep, I can make him the owner. So this is where it gets crazy. Let's say I have something I want them all to do. So if I said, I want all of you to mark this as done, I can go and I can do assignment to the team. Boom, like that. And then assign to everyone. And now everybody in there is going to start getting this notification. I'm going to hit it and we'll see. Kjell, if you're in there right now, you should see this come over and you can mark it as done so we can see how it updates. So I hit start badgering. Boom. So it actually assigned to me too. So you get the request assigned to me right there. And now I can go in and I can mark it as done. Boop. Kjell just completed that one. Nick may have fallen asleep and Christy may never get it done. But now we have this different view for the you're owed, because you're owed just means that like something needs to come your way. And you can see that it was assigned to the test team. It was assigned to 4 people and 2 of the 4 people have completed it. We can go in now and actually see the original request details, which doesn't have anything in it, but that's where it starts. And then we can see the status of how Kjell and Greg completed it. So he completed it this time. I completed it this time. Then we can see that Nick and Christy, well, Nick just got it done, right? And that broke this view. Okay, good to know that breaks that. But yeah, then you can see that these guys are all done. So we're just waiting for Christy. And Christy, it's 7:35, so she's probably feeding our baby right now. So she's probably not going to get that done. But this is the gist of the app, is that you could do collaborative work, assign things to many people at once, have multiple layers of completion and criteria for completion. And I just don't know what to do with it, because I don't know if we can charge people for this. That's an assumption. But I don't know what we could charge them for. And I'd almost say like you charge them for the workshops, but I don't know what a fair price is. Because I feel like when you get into like team pricing, it can get really expensive. Like, would I spend $20 a month to use this for my studio team? Which, I mean, not even 20, it would be 15. Would I spend that money a month? I don't know. I get a value out of this. It's just not like it's not a huge value, you know? We don't really use it here because we're in an office together. But maybe if you're remote with other people, it would make a lot of sense. It might make a lot of sense if you're the type of person that has clientele. It might make a lot of sense to say like only use the personal version of it, or create a workshop where like each one of these different these little teams are like separate clients or something. I really don't know, but I would love to launch it. I'd love to let more people use it because I think the people that do use it, at least from what you guys have told me, you like it, but we don't really know what to do with it. It's a very refined app. It's about I think this is about 3 or 6, what was it? 6 months of work or 3 months of work? Maybe 4 months, somewhere in there. And we even have the really nice high polished marketing site for it ready, and just like another 1 day of work on that, and it'll be done. But what I need to get in place is a way to scale it. I need to make sure I've got some sort of easy mode scaling hooked up, because I don't want to. I don't know. I just don't want to slap it online and get in trouble if a lot of people use it. It's one of those things that has the potential for a lot of people to use really quick. Because I'm gonna go in there. If you're gonna sign up for it, you're gonna add somebody else probably and say like I need them to get stuff done for me. You know. So under my wheel, you say you keep getting an error for when trying to get an email notification for when it releases. I'm sorry I missed that. It was like 10 minutes ago. Probably, yeah. I don't know what system we had in place for that. I can see what we have. Test.com. Something went wrong. Crap. I don't know what that's sending to. I think it's probably sending to some service. And that service is busted. That'd be my guess. Oh, it's the server responded with the status of 412. Precondition failed. So it's email.js. What the hell is precondition failed mean? No, that's not this one. I wonder if they were just statusing weird. No, 400 would have told me this. What the hell is precondition failed? That's new. I don't think I've seen that ever. I wonder if something like our key got rolled or something like that. But you'd think they'd give us a better notification than precondition failed. I'm going to check this really quick. Hold on. Oh, it's using Joss's account. That might be why. Oh, it's a deprecated service. That would make sense. Yeah, let's service is deprecated. Please use a new email service. So update service. Yeah. Okay. This is Josh's account. Josh is a guy that used to work with us at Omatum. He set this up. Let's add the service, Gmail, connect an account. Okay. I wonder if that does it. Let's see. What? Did it even add that thing? I don't think it did. So email.js is this like simple way that if you just need real simple emails, you use this. There we go. Send a quick test. Test email will be sent to joshua@omatum.com. Oh, did we keep his account? I may have kept his account because I think that's where all the emails were living. This is working up until when? Oh, God. No way. All these people wanted to sign up and it was just like, nope. That's what 33 people wanted to sign up for this. Oh, Jesus. Crap. Okay. Well, let me just see if it works now. Yep, it works now. That sucks. It's like 33 people that would have been using it. Well, it looks like it's working again. So, yeah, sign up. That'd be some OmatumBucks for under my wheel. FYI. It'd be 100 OmatumBucks right there, baby. It's $1. You could use that on something. So this was our bare bones marketing page, but our good one looks so nice. Oh, it looks so nice. This big giant animation. Come on, did we get the 350? We're not there. I don't think it's going to happen today. I just don't think it's going to happen. But if you want to make it happen, you go to that youtube.com/Omatum. Hit that up. Give us your eyeballs. That's all we're asking for. No money required. Just watch our content. Tell us how to make it better. That's all we're asking for. It's a little weird, man. Having a business that is a content business now. It's a little weird. I really like doing software, but man, my passion is definitely more in the content end. Although I only want to do content around software, so maybe it is the when software and content do this, they have sex, and out comes my passion. Not even software products. I don't have that much passion about being like, let me tell you guys how an array reduce function works. I don't care about that. I'm gonna make content like that because people search for it, but it's not my thing. Let's see. We don't have anything else to do here. And this is probably about the time where I need to wrap things up. So next week we'll be working on let's just back up. We're done with the dashboard. So we have everything in place now from a design perspective to make this all work. So we have a dashboard where you can see your points balance and you can see the table of all those points. We see the point redemptions where you can actually redeem these things and buy stuff with your points. We have the earnings table to show you exactly how you can earn points to use on whatever the heck you want to use them on, redeemable things. We have a settings page so you can change some of these pieces, reroll your token, just stuff you'd want to do. We can show that, reroll it. You can see all the things that you're connected to. You can link up your Twitch. We have some toasts here that will, or flashes rather, that are going to show you what you need to do before you can start using our service. I think we're good. I think we've got it. So next week, what we'll get into is we have, this was a design run that turned into a design and development run, which is I'm fine with. But we're going to do all this stuff as visual design first. And so some of the other visual design tasks still need to get done. The next thing I want to do is I want to get the actual extension designed. I don't think we're going to actually like code the extension yet. But next up will be this thing. Like this is a uBlock, right? So we're going to design out what this will look like. We're not going to code it. We're not going to go right in and start coding the dang thing. But we can see that there's some places, there's some real estate here. So if we go to open the dashboard, like there's apparently a whole thing you can stick here, which is kind of crazy. That's a little bit crazy. There's a whole bunch of design we can do. So that's what we'll do next week. I hope you guys had enjoyed the stream, and I hope to see you next time. Hit that follow button, check out our Discord, and check out our YouTube. Everybody have a good weekend. See you guys later. Oh, wait, hold on. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Hold up. We got to raid somebody. We've had no success in the past 2 raids. Oh, we got to find somebody. There are rules. There are rules to raiding, and here come the rules. We have to find somebody who, what are the rules? Science and tech with a webcam, low view count, under 100 followers, not a game dev. Developing a multi-step wizard part 8 in Laravel. Mike Bronner. Take a look. Say something, Mike. Let me know you're a person. Let's see about Mike here. Actual code. He's actually coding. He's smashing into Laravel. He has 64 repositories. Oh, this is a guy.
Oh, well, need to start over again.
Just gonna give him a little of that. All right. Everybody just follow him. You're gonna blow his mind. He's going from
Really weird.
8 followers.
Hey, Omatum, Greg. ... Yes. My thoughts too. What's happening here?
He's talking to me right now. He's like, hey, what's happening with this thing? He has no fucking idea. He has no idea. Guys, be nice to him. Try to give him some tips on streaming, and just generally spread some love. Hope you guys have a good weekend. And off you go. See you later.
Oh, I need to clear the cache. Hey, Starbucks64. Yes, coding. And thanks for the raid, Omatum. That's awesome. Under my wheel. What's up?
He's pretty excited about it.
On Laravel stuff, implementing a progress bar, and what we're
All right.
adding now
That's a pretty good place to cut it. See you guys later.